Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 380 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for July 9th, 2022. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
The middle of summer, Daniel.
Yep.
It's the middle of summer, man. It was like one good day this week.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple.
There was a nice little breeze on like Wednesday, maybe.
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, I want to say Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe Thursday, because that's why I went out to well, maybe it was Wednesday and Thursday, because Thursday I went out to eat and I wore jeans and I wasn't sweating, so that was a good day.
Yeah,
it was just humid. Like I think it was like the low 80s, but it was just humid. But it wasn't horrible. You know, it was like compared to the other days, it was bad. But hey, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. Had fun hanging out with friends or family, or maybe just strangers, but having a good time. You know, hope nobody lost their limbs or anything.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, with the fireworks, I know we had a tragedy that happened, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Things, and you know, they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But when I saw the dude who did the shooting, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, come on, all he needed was just to have a sign saying, "I'm gonna murder people." Like that's all he needed.
Murder your family.
Yeah. It God darn.
Which I mean, he basically did in some of those music videos that he put out. So,
I mean, now some people are asking this question, which I mean, I think should happen. The father should be charged, get some charge or something. Because he knew his son, well, he did know his son had mental issues. And he bought him a gun.
Oh, he bought him the gun, huh? Yeah.
Well, why would you get somebody who has some mental issues? That's like people with sharp objects once have mental issues. Like, you don't do that, right? So why a gun? Yeah, so I think he is responsible. I think that he's
it's hard to make the argument that he's not. I don't know. It's one thing if you got young kids out here buying their own guns and then doing stuff like this, but yeah, I mean, if you're the parent, I guess he trusted him with that gun. Maybe that was a bad idea, though. And I say maybe, but like obviously, yes.
Yes, yeah, obviously.
Proven
all right,
at this point,
but all right. So I guess we could get down to. Oh, yeah. Do you want to say anything? Did they talk about your 4th of July weekend? How what you did?
It was nice. I mean, we just stayed at home. My daughter doesn't like fireworks anymore. Like, she was unfazed by them when she was younger, but now she's starting to like internalize stuff a lot more, and she gets scared by things a lot more. So she did not like it at all. We just had her with headphones on.
Was it the noise?
Yeah.
You don't have those headphones?
Well, I put headphones on her and I took her outside just to see if that would do anything, and she did not like that either. So,
how about blindfold?
I did not try that.
How about your dog? How'd your dog react to fireworks?
My dog was fine with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't need a thunder vest or anything like that. He was perfectly fine. That stuff didn't affect him. I mean, you know how he was. He was very relaxed about everything. He didn't really. Yeah.
But I tried to scare him.
What's that?
I tried to scare him.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it was nice because it seemed like there was just like a group of young dudes like going around the neighborhood, going on different streets, just lighting like serious fireworks off. So like there was some nice stuff to see around here without, 7 foot off my porch, basically.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool. And, hopefully when my daughter gets a little older, she'll be a little chiller with them. But yeah, it was nice.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't do nothing, man. I just chilled. I was good. My family did a lot of stuff. Pop
on the VR and watch some fireworks in there.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have did that.
You gotta try that.
I think I watched a little bit of well, there were some fireworks outside my window because I was in Damascus. I guess somebody was doing something out there, and I looked out there and saw.
Yeah.
And I think I watched a little bit of whatever was on PBS. It was the DC or something. They were shooting
Yeah, they
fireworks.
usually do like national fireworks or something like that.
Yeah. And people singing that I don't know anymore. or never knew them because they're new.
Yeah.
So. All right. So I guess we get down to what I watch in sports. I know my Orioles have won 6 in a row as of this podcast. So hopefully by the time you hear it, they have won like 10 in a row or something by then. They haven't won double digits games in a row since, I want to say 1999, when they won 13, was it? Was it 11 or 13? One of the two. But yeah, the most I really ever seen, I thought it was 8, but it was 7. Maybe because I was rooting for 8 to go. They won 7 doing a Buck Showalter time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so 6 in a row. This team's been going. They are 3 games below 500, I believe now, and they've been looking good. They've been walk-offs. These 3 out of these 6 games.
That's pretty impressive.
So yeah, they're 41-44. All-Star break's about to come up. Want to say it's either next week or the week after next.
Oh, okay.
I want to say maybe it's the 12th. Is it the 12th on to 13th?
Okay,
Shit.
so that'd be this coming week. Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of asking because I was thinking.
Yeah, because I mean it's usually right around this time. So.
Yeah. So this is probably their last series then. Against the Angels. They're playing the Angels right now, which has Shohei Ohtani and Trout. So I saw them. They both those guys have hit home runs on us, but they haven't won. So hey, I'm okay with that.
So wow, the All-Star game's not until the 19th.
Oh, so it's later. Okay, so no, we still got a week.
Yeah,
still got a week before that happens.
Get all your votes in.
I know there's no Orioles right now. Yeah,
there
right
won't
now,
be, Dominic. You and I both know that.
Yeah, I gotta hope somebody gets hurt, and maybe they might get somebody just to come up.
Yeah.
So wish for injuries, people. Wish for injuries. All right. What else happened? NFL. Oh yeah, Baker Mayfield, the guy who they replaced. Well, they got replaced at Cleveland with Watson, and now he's found a team. They sent him to Carolina, so he's on Carolina. What else?
Is he taking the spot of anybody notable?
Can't think. Maybe Sam Darnold. I don't know if they're going to be competing. They might be competing. Some people think they should compete for the spot, but possibly Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, he's okay, but he's not great or anything. He's not.
Gotcha.
He could be from bad to good. I've never seen him great, but who knows? Maybe with the right team, he can do something. But I think more people are probably rooting for Baker Mayfield to actually get back, because it's kind of weird that this guy who made Cleveland relevant within the last 4 years, more so than my whole lifetime.
Yeah.
and now they just this guy Watson is great and he's available. We're just going to replace you. I mean,
was that really all it was? Was just we think this guy's going to be better, so peace out.
Yeah.
Wow. Because he was in all the commercials and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I mean, he had his issues, some interceptions and stuff. But I'm just thinking, who the hell are you going to get? Right. I mean, but hey, I guess they say, well, Watson. We got Watson now. Watson is known. Yeah, people are looking at Watson to be one of the greats out there. So, but darn, it's just
Watson's not the one that had all the claims and stuff against him, was it?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Oh, okay, it is him. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I thought
that's another thing. And that's another thing. It's you took a chance with a guy who's going through all these lawsuits. Right now, It's all just because none of them. All these are just civil lawsuits now going against him. That they're kind of paying people off just to shut the fuck up. But
the old Vince McMahon, as you will.
Yeah. But it's just that you really take a chance on that. But then again, it's got to be something they know, because why would you take a chance on that unless you know
especially if you're
proof.
Getting rid of Baker Mayfield to have this guy
there must
take
be
his
no
spot.
proof. So it looks bad just from the outside point of view of you're taking a guy like this who could be convicted rapist of multiple, not rapist, sexual assault of multiple women, sexual misconduct or something. But hey, I guess like literal law is like, hey, he's never been convicted, and no, there's no proof of him actually doing it. So, but now they're saying should there be a suspension? And I'm like, if he's found innocent, why should there be a suspension? What would be the suspension for then?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Weird.
Yeah, because if he's not convicted of anything and he's not pled guilty to anything, so what would it be the suspension for? I guess having sex with too many women and them coming after you. I don't know what you do because of course the player association are pleading like, hey, he shouldn't get suspended. And I'm thinking like, yeah, because what are you suspending him for? Honestly,
because he filled out that celibacy vow and he didn't hold to it clearly.
All right, so what else has happened? Basketball. Kevin Durant asked for a trade. So that's the big news in basketball right now, seeing where Kevin Durant is going to go. Like what team who's going to pick him up? Who's going to pay that money? What they're going to give up to get him?
Yeah. So
at first, it looked like the NBA was going to have any news really, and it's almost like me and my brother was talking about that. So during the NBA, is not really anything happening. Everybody's just pretty much staying where they are. Mm-hmm. And then Kevin Durant just said, "Oh, I asked for a trade." Almost like this was set up for they have some news to talk about in all season. It was like, oh, it's boring. You say, oh, you've got something to stir the pot. So people are asking like, hey, can he go to LA or can Kyrie go to LA? Because some people talk about Kyrie going. Since why would Kyrie want to stay? Or he want to stay with them if Kevin Durant's not going to be there. I don't know. Is Kevin Durant and Kyrie are in good terms with each other? We don't know. What's going on? What's the reason why Kevin Durant is asking for the trade? I haven't really got any reasons. It's speculation. But yeah.
So it's kind of like you were talking about last week. Like everybody went to the Nets to hopefully do something big, and now everybody's just trying to leave.
Yeah, it's like, Darren, man, nothing happened. Like these guys barely played with each other all those years. Like they never even played a full season together. It's ridiculous. Like Darren, them going to the Nets. They had some of the top players in the NBA. They had Durant, Harden, and Kyrie Irving. And nothing. I'm just thinking, if Kyrie would have got the COVID shot, what would it be? Because I think Harden, that was one of the reasons why Harden left, because of like the whole thing with Kyrie Irving, like just like him getting his way. Or something like that. That's what people are
frustrated with
saying.
the drama, basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if he did, would this had ever happened? Would they all that? I don't know, but hey, it is what it is.
He wouldn't be playing anymore down there because the vaccine would have killed him.
Oh yeah, that's true. It would. Yeah, it would took all. He couldn't. Well, he wouldn't be any good. He probably would play, but he would.
It would have sucked out his magical basketball powers.
Yeah,
made him magnetic, also.
All right, so yeah, that's it. Oh, and Avalanche won the hockey.
Oh,
they
cool.
are the champions. They beat Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah,
They beat your Tampa Bay Lightning.
That, I think, right?
Oh, we did. We did talk about that last week.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Okay, yeah.
Did they play the Oh no, we talked about that last week too. The American Football League stuff.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because I couldn't remember if we had just talked about the playoffs or if the championship happened too. But I think that had happened. Actually,
no, it didn't.
No?
No, the championship happened on Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Sunday night. So, yeah, we didn't talk about it. So,
who won that?
Alabama. Alabama are the champions.
Okay.
They won, so it was a good game, too. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, both quarterbacks got hurt on the teams.
Oh, wow.
Like, in the second half.
At least it's the end of the season, I guess, right?
It sucked. Got
some time to recover.
Yeah, the guy, he was helping the team come back, and he got hurt. I think it hurt them more than anything. And plus, he was about to get married the next day or 2 days after.
Oh, wow.
So I guess he's going to have a cast on his leg going down that aisle.
That's rough.
So, yeah, I was like, darn, that is very unfortunate. I said, man, because he had to get carted off. I said, oh, man, damn. But it was a good game, though. because the guy who came in for Alabama, I remember he came in, he threw an interception, or I think he threw an interception or something, and like he was all frustrated, and like you could hear because they had the mics for the coaches and the players, so you hear them just talking to each other, fuss each other, but then the coach, he's like, look, say, calm down, look, we're going to win this game. Say, don't think it. So we're going to win this game, and like they were down, and they came back and won. So now you know what the promo is going to be for like the next year for the show. They're going to show that thing. I'm saying we're going to win this time. Coach quarterback, we're going to win this game. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like I'm glad to finally see a full season of something of another football league. So now next year we're going to have them and the XFL. I don't know what the schedule is going to be like because I think neither sport has their schedules. Either league has their schedules ready right now. And I don't know what USFL is going to do next year because they say they want to at some point travel, not just have it all in Alabama. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Wimbledon is happening. It sucks because Nadal was looking real great, but then he got hurt. He did win his match though. So some people were thinking that since he knew something went wrong, maybe he should have stepped out so they can still be at semifinals.
Because whoever just gets the pass, then. Yeah,
they get the pass because this guy who a lot of people hate, Kyrgios or something, I think because he always fusses and stuff. Okay. He gets a pass. He gets to play whoever wins between Djokovic and whoever he plays. Which most likely it'll probably be Djokovic. So Djokovic might win. It sucks because he had the chance to go for the slam, the Grand Slam, because he won the last two big matches. So he had this one and then the U.S. Open to win. And it just sucks that he got injured. It's like, oh, man. And on the women's front, there's two women who never been to the women's finals. Like, so they're just totally new. I think one is from Kyrgyzstan, and one is, I don't know where she's from. They say African, but she's not black. So I don't know.
South Africa?
I want to say that too, but I don't know. She doesn't look white either.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, she's still going to be South African, though. Yeah. I just don't know. Which, thing is, here's the thing. I want that to be calmly said down, because even if you're a fucking Egyptian or Liberian or whatever, you say African, because I don't like that term anymore. Like, using us as like African American. No. You call them all Africans then, because it's a. We're gonna say, hey, it's a fucking continent. You can't just freaking say, hey, I'm African. Like, guess how the fucking country you from? Say, well, fine. So everybody from Africa.
I'm
African,
North American, Dominic, and I'm proud of it.
But so they have them for the first time ever, like for their respective countries, to be in Wimbledon, the finals, and I mean that's good for them. Just sucks that I won't be watching because I don't have any Americans. I don't have any root for. I don't have any root for. And just like in the men's, I don't have any root for. Actually, I wanted Nadal versus Djokovic. And since I'm not going to get that, it's not a big deal to me. Like, I'm sorry. Tennis, I like tennis. I don't love it. And I like it for the stars. So, I need the stars. Or I need something. I need a record. Like, if something happening, like, this could be a record, I'll watch it. I don't care if it's not American or not. But, like, well, see, for the men's, it's not going to be Americans. We don't have no big-time American anymore. But I want to see the big guys play. Like, if it was Federer was there, he wasn't there for this one, I believe. I want to see Federer playing against Nadal, or Federer playing against Djokovic, or vice versa. Any of those guys playing against each other. Since it's not, it's like, it sucks. And you can even see an announcer's face, like McEnroe. You can even hear him talking like he's kind of upset too because he really wanted it. So that's it. So any wrestling news?
Not really anything I can think of as far. Well, I mean, I guess Money in the Bank happened last week. That was a good show, but not really much to talk about coming out of that. The big news that came out yesterday is that there were apparently like 4 more women. $12 million that Vince McMahon paid hush money to.
So that's good.
He seemingly did not appear on SmackDown last night like a lot of people were expecting him to, because he did last time. Just immediately came out.
How is it getting out? The women are snitching?
I don't know. I mean, it's coming out reporting through, I think, the Washington Post.
He needs to sue and get his money back.
You signed this NDA. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not looking too hot for him, but apparently the backstage report for him was basically, when this stuff came out last week or the week before when we originally talked about it, basically his thought on it was like, fuck them, I don't care. Like, I don't care what they're saying. I didn't do anything wrong. They can't get rid of me. And now I think like the word going around is that like they're trying to make it report that like if Vince McMahon is not in charge at the WWE, then the company's going to go down or something like that. When the reality of it is like WWE is an established enough brand at this point that if Vince McMahon never appeared on TV again or wasn't in charge, they would be perfectly fine. In fact, like if not all of, but if some of the creative failings are the result of Vince McMahon and they replaced him with someone that ran a better show, then the popularity for WWE could only go up, really. So I don't know. I really just hope he goes away at some point and doesn't come back and quietly goes on about his business. So, well, hopefully that business is not continuing to sexually harass people, but you know what I'm saying, Dominic. Yeah, just disappear off the face of my social medias and never have to hear about him again until he dies in his 90s or whatever, like his mother did. Because that man still got years in him, Dominic. He's only in his 70s. His mother died when she was like 99 or something. So he's not going anywhere.
Like the queen.
Exactly.
But the queen gonna live, she's like 200.
The robot queen. We replaced her with a long time ago. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got for wrestling right now.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. I'll go through mine real quick. All right. So I finished Ozark off. I finished that series off. So
nice.
Like the series is over and it was okay ending. Mm-hmm. It's little soprano-ish. But
open to interpretation a little bit.
It would be if but the directors told us what happened.
Oh, so okay.
So there you go. But overall series is good. The ending was it was all right. I mean, like the very end, like the overall show that show was all right. It was pretty good. But the very end was a little like, oh, so this is what happened. But yeah, but overall, great show. Really enjoyed it. Not better than Breaking Bad, but for a Netflix show, like to be in that conversation, they had some good actors in there, man. Like the girl who plays Ruth is really good. I like her. So yeah, I'm surprised. I actually thought this show was going to. I mean, first of all, I thought the show was going to suck from the very beginning. Because I just gave it a chance. I just gave it a chance and said, like, okay, let me see if there's anything good. And I was like, oh, man, this is actually all right. So, yeah, Netflix says every now and then some shit sticks, you know?
Yeah.
It sticks on that wall. All right, so...
I know you were a little concerned about how many episodes were in this last season. Did it feel drug out, or did they do all right there?
It was actually okay.
Okay.
They probably could just split it into two seasons, I mean. But I think they usually do. Maybe they usually do 10 to 13 episodes. I forget. I guess in some way they could have made it shorter. They could have ended it earlier, but no.
But overall, you didn't feel like it was necessary, I guess is what I'm asking, right?
Yeah.
Like it didn't damper your enjoyment of it.
No, it didn't. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It didn't do that. So good on them. All right. So I did finish Barry. Barry is the comedy on HBO about a guy who's a contract killer, but he's trying to be better and he's acting. So he's like a new, like one of those student actors and stuff. So now this is like its third or fourth season. I want to say third. And yeah, a lot of shit's hitting the fan, and like Seems like he's getting cornered. But I mean, a lot of things happen in this episode. Like, it makes you like, man, I can wait for next season. I just hope they don't take too damn long where I forget what the fuck happened, like I did with this one. Where I had to watch the goddamn last episode again from the previous season to know what the hell happened. But no, it's hilarious. Like, this show it's funny, man. Like, yeah, it's just a comedy throughout. It's funny. It's like a very dark comedy too, because like people be dying, man. But it's very, it's God, man. This show's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Also, I finished watching Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was pretty good. Okay, I will say I did enjoy it. I'm curious about, spoilers, about the woman. Like, she's alive. So what are they doing?
I don't know, because the sad thing is, like, it felt like the series was going to maybe put a little bit of focus on her, and then, like, all of her story was very rushed right there at the end, and didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Like, you know, she has that fight with Darth Vader, which was cool, and then she just gets absolutely... Yeah, she absolutely just gets destroyed by him, but, like, stabbed with a lightsaber, and she survives. But then she's like... I guess the motivation is I'm mad, so I'm going to go kill his son?
Yeah, I was like, oh, so I'm going to kill his son. But he doesn't even know.
Right. Which, I mean, I don't know if she knows if he knows or not, but you would think she does, and you would think if she knows that he doesn't know, then killing his son's not going to do much. Unless she plans on, like, cutting off his head and bringing it to him and be like, this was your son, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... So I don't know, and it's very weird to, like, also save that reveal of her being, you know, one of the kids from the beginning.
Yeah, which I was saying. I was saying, like, hey, but they weren't all the kids. It was just her. She was the one that survived. That was because my prediction was that all the sisters and brothers, were them.
Yeah, and it's like...
Yeah, it should have... to save it at the end. They should have, like, had her keep, like, at least remembering something from that, like, as the show went on.
Because you also don't... Like, I mean, obviously, you and a lot of people were speculating that was the case, and it really only made sense for why they would even show that scene. But they never, like, explicitly state that until the end of the series, so it's not like it's this... revelation, really, because people know or assume, but it's also not used to, like, really create this motivation, because she's complaining about Obi-Wan not saving her, but meanwhile she's been working with the guy that terrorized her the entire time. Seemingly,
like, that could have been a story on its own of her infiltrating and trying to kill Darth Vader.
Yeah, so, like, if the whole idea with her spending this time with her, with him, was to get close enough to kill him, okay, but, like, during that entire time, you're doing exactly what he did and hunting down Jedi children and killing them. So, like, doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you start putting all those things together. So I was a little disappointed what they ended up doing with her story, and I enjoyed the show overall, but the other thing that bothered me about it is having that Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight, which was very cool in this last episode. But Obi-Wan gets to the point where he could just kill that dude.
Yeah, I was thinking,
doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Especially once Darth Vader is like, I killed your friend. He's no longer here. Obi-Wan at that point is not killing Anakin. He's killing Darth Vader and saving the universe from multiple years of just death and destruction. Like,
yeah, it doesn't end the Empire, but you heard it. You know, you take this guy out. But, you know, yeah, it doesn't make sense because, and plus, for me to say, like, I don't want to kill my friend, or you use the thing like, you don't always have to kill. But it's like, you killed a lot of things, you know, at the war. You didn't just kill robots.
Yeah.
That child uses it like, hey, y'all was killing those robots. Y'all killed people too, the Jedi. So killing him is not bad. I mean, it's just as bad as you doing killing an enemy. He's an enemy now.
Yeah, it just seems like such a cop out. I mean, obviously you can't kill Darth Vader because we know he's alive in those movies.
But it should have made something happen.
But don't
something
put him
happened.
in that position then.
Yeah. Make it
to just walk away.
I was thinking like maybe a pillar will fall down before something can happen.
It's something like, even if he just like senses that Reva's about to kill Luke or something, and he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like, I still wouldn't necessarily be happy about that, but that would be better than him just making the same exact mistake that he made in Revenge of the Sith. Literally the same exact mistake.
Yeah.
Not killing this dude.
I would have thought like Vader, when he buried him in that rock, he thought he was dead and just left.
Yeah.
Or something.
That part makes sense to me. Like, Vader's like, yeah, or whatever, right? But it's the Obi-Wan thing of like, I was very much, once he starts fucking him up, I'm very much like, okay, when is Darth Vader gonna like just punch him in the dick or something? Like, get a cheap shot on him and get away, or, you know, the Imperial ship shows up and starts shooting at them both, and Darth Vader is able to get evacuated or something. But for Obi-Wan to just walk away is just like, you know what? Sometimes the heroes have to make the tough choices. It's not just about the hero always being the good guy. Like, just angers me so much. Yeah.
I mean, but that's how Star Wars now is in a complicated place, because they're trying to build something to be deeper. But you always think about what the guy on Red Letter Media said. Like, Star Wars is surface level type of stuff. It was always this good versus evil. And thing is, since you made it that way, it's kind of hard to go back on that, or you just have to change it. Like, because you're still trying to make it like Jedi good, Sith or bad.
Right.
But and then it gets to points where, like, look, so does it make sense for him to leave that guy alive, though? I mean, this is war.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this isn't no superhero type shit, because you can't nobody take him. You want to take him to jail. These superheroes take him to jail. Like, you're just leaving him. And he's not dead.
Yeah. It's so frustrating. Like, why? Why are you doing this? Why did you let him then go on to blow up Alderaan? And again, I know it's not, ending the Empire, but that's a serious blow. Like, let's be realistic here.
Oh, yeah, it's a serious blow. That's what I'm saying. They lose like one of their best force wielders.
Yeah.
Like or the best. Because he's technically, I mean, he's only limited to the Emperor because he just follows him. But he wants to take over too, but he just doesn't know. He never gets to the point to do it.
Yeah.
And he feels strong enough. Because as strong as he is, he has to convince the other soldiers too. Because you can't, like, if any soldier goes against him, he could kill a lot of them, but he'll die eventually. Like, they're not truly invincible. Except they make this Emperor that way, because they ruined it in the fucking sequels. But yeah, it has this problem. Like, the show was overall, the series was overall fun. I really enjoyed the girl who plays as Leia. She was really good, the little girl.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, because children are usually horrible. So that's what I kept thinking. Like, she must be a little person. Maybe that's a little person who's playing as her, because she's too good. But but that was a problem. The ending, like, as far as the arc of like what Star Wars is like, man, they make it so that he left them twice. See, it was supposed to be, we were mad one time that, Darren, he should have killed him right then and there, but I can understand. The man's all burned up. He didn't think he was going to be rebuilt to be Darth Vader. So now it was like, okay, Obi-Wan is just horrible. He is horrible at his job. It's like he is.
He's inept.
Yeah, darn. All right. So what else did I watch? Okay, so I watched a couple of animes. I actually finished the series. Mob Psycho 100. I finished the series. It's only maybe 10 episodes each season. So I already watched the first season.
Oh, okay.
And the second season, maybe 10 or 12. I forget, but it's not long. But it's good. Like, this is probably one of my favorite animes because of how funny it is. The visuals of it looks pretty good. The story is that Bob is a middle school kid, which is funny how they make middle schoolers. But they make middle schoolers like they're high schoolers, really. Like, I mean, some of the kids look like they could be middle school. Then you got some kids who like the older kids. They're like the grown-ass men. So I'm like, why I say middle school? I say Japanese people are just so weird with their stuff. Haven't always had to be young, you know, but whatever. He's in middle school, and he has psychic abilities. And he works for this guy who is a charlatan, though. He's a fake type of psychic. And he uses him. He uses Bob. So when he has something that's real, he gets Bob and say, hey, I'm training you. So I want you to take out this spirit and, you know, make him go away. And Bob does that. And sometimes he asks you, hey, master, or say, like, you keep asking me the last minute to do stuff. Why can't you do it? Say, oh, Mom, because I'm trying to teach you. He said, I'm trying to teach you something like that. But also he's a good guy, though. He's still a good guy. The charlatan's still a good guy. And also Bob, later on in the series, like a few episodes in, he meets this other thing, the spirit. He defeats it, but it doesn't die all the way, and he ends up being with Bob. He ends up like being his friend. But really, he's trying to take over his body eventually. So that's what he's trying to do. But eventually, he just becomes a friend. Bob has a brother who's jealous of him, but he acts real nice to him, but then he does get psychic powers. I'm kind of spoiling it a bit if you never watched it. But that's the gist of the series. I mean, there's other things happening too, but like Bob is like so powerful. Like, but he's just a normal, boring kid. Like he really shows no emotion, but he has emotion, but he kind of just hides it. And because of something that happened to him in the past. That's why, because he thinks he might, if he gets too emotional, he'll get out of control. So that's why he kind of holds everything in. And he becomes not noticeable. He likes this girl. So he joined this group called the Body Improvement Club. And he sucks at everything, you know, like physically. No, but he won't cheat. He won't use his psychic powers to be better or to be a better person. He says, no, I want to be a person on my own without my powers. But the show is like, it makes fun of anime, like with some of the stuff it does. If you've seen One Punch Man, it's kind of like that, because it's the same writer who does One Punch Man did this. And I like how, like, you know, in anime, like when somebody does a power, sometimes either a narrator or the person will tell you what their power is and how they do it, you know? Like they say, like, oh, this guy does a special move, or I'm doing my special move, the blah, blah, blah. Like, now for the guy who's a fake psychic that he calls Master, like, he does something like, oh, he throws salt. Say, oh, this is his special move where he throws salt on suspected like spirits or something like that. And it doesn't work. It never work. It never works. And then he does something like he kicks somebody in the balls. Say, oh, this is a special move called something like crotch kick or something, where he kicks somebody in the balls. And then there's like one move where he's like you hear him yell like self-defense and start punching somebody. This is his special move where he yells self-defense, just in case it's not really self-defense. But yeah, it's hilarious. Like it's good writing. Like the comedy actually fits, because it's not like some comedy in Japanese anime. Like it's never like, this is a little cheesy or something. Yeah. Like this is actually pretty damn good. Like it's done very well, and I watch this all dubbed. I don't watch subs, because if something has to be subbed, I don't care how good it is, I won't be seeing it. And I guess I'll just miss out, because I don't like having to read, because I would have to keep rewinding. I have to read it, rewind, so I can see the visuals to see what I'm looking at. That's my
problem with stuff like that. Like, it's not that I've got a problem with like the language or anything. It's just like, it's distracting.
Yeah.
So like, I'll take a relatively okay dub over having to read it and not be able to pay attention to what's actually happening at the top of the screen.
Yeah, because I don't care how good. Like you say, well, the dub sounds horrible, but the subs sound. I said, well, I don't understand what they're saying, so.
It makes absolutely no difference to me what it sounds like in Japanese if I don't understand it. Like, unless they just have like the weirdest freaking voices in the world in the English one, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's silly.
So, yeah, anyway. but yeah, and it's all done well. Like I recommend it for even people who don't like anime. Say if you could check this out, check it out because it's actually pretty good. Like it's pretty funny. And no, watch Punch Man. It's pretty good too, and it's not long either. I think it's like maybe 2 seasons and episodes, and like a few episodes, 10 maybe for each one. And I know like the fans of those shows are really upset because there has been a long break between like down to the next seasons of these, and people are like, "Oh man, we can't wait!" Like they just want it like now. Again, I can understand because it's really good, but for me, I'm also liking that it's not like Dragon Ball Z where it's like a whole bunch of shit and that's not even good, you know? Like each episode is good. Each episode means something. Also, I've been watching Hunter X. It's either Hunter X Hunter or Hunter Cross Hunter. I don't know how they say it, or just Hunter. Sometimes I think they say Hunter Hunter in Japan.
Yeah.
But this is a series that is about a boy named Gon who wants to be like his father, who is a hunter. And a hunter is a person who goes on adventures, basically. Like of anything. They can either like look up new animals or something like that, new species, and report it. Fight maybe something that's bothering, like messing up maybe a town or people or something. Like they're just basically adventurers, but they have a license. It's a license to do certain things that you couldn't possibly do if you're just a normal person. Or you could just be illegal. You know, so like anybody could be a hunter though. They don't have stipulations. Like even a serial killer.
Do you have to get licensed though?
Yeah, you still have to get licensed, but anybody can
that's
be
how the government tracks you down. Like you can't do that.
So, like they have to go through this like hunter exam, which is pretty hard. Physically, you can die in it too, so you're taking a chance on it. So you only like if you really want to be a hunter, you really want to be a hunter. So Gon, he's a kid, and like there's another guy named Killua who he becomes friends with, who's also a kid. And Killua, he's from a family are assassins, so he was raised from a very young age to be an assassin. So he's pretty good. Gon, I don't know how he learned how to fight. Like he has some skills, but he's learning as he goes. But he has a lot of determination and something like that. So that's what keeps him going. While Killua, he was kind of raised to be like, look, if you meet somebody who's stronger than you, don't bother. Because he's just an assassin. Like, he's not a guy, he's not a fighter, per se. Okay. He's just a guy who's quick. You go, you kill, you leave. And if he knows, like, oh, this guy's stronger than me, I'll leave. But Gon is a guy who will try. He will fight till he can't fight. And, yeah, they become friends. And Killua learns things. He learns things from Killua, and Killua learns things from him. And they meet other people along the way that becomes friends with them. And that's how it really starts. And I thought it was like a little kiddie series or something like that. Cause when you look at the cover, you see these two little kids and stuff, and like a map or something in the background. Look like, oh, there's little kids going on adventures. But it gets some serious shit. Like some dark shit be happening. I'm like, oh darn, man, this is pretty dark for like a kid show. It's like, oh, maybe it's not a kid show. And yeah, it's probably more for teenagers or something along those lines. But just that the way that I read about Japanese culture, well, in the anime world, like they like everything to be young. Like they think like, hey, young, you do all this stuff, you do all these things that you wouldn't do as an adult, you're boring and something like that. So that's why all the protagonists are mostly just young kids, or they're like, in their teens or like close to 18, and like old is like 20s and like 20s or something like that. And that's just something I think of as the U.S. You want to grow up, you want to be something like you don't mind being old. You can still be strong and everything. But anyway, so this has some dark storylines. It has some very more complex stories too with them. Like it's not just simple bad versus good. It's more than that. And I didn't even realize it. I'm just watching this. I mean, I went to the end of the series and I finished it when I started looking up what people thought of this show. And like, people really love it. Like some people think like, for a series, it's one of the better anime series. It's like, wow, it is.
Oh.
I said, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't like it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
Now, do they have fillers? They have some fillers in here, but it's not like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z. Like it's easy to figure out if it's a filler and fast forward. But they don't also have as many episodes as those either. They have, I think it's the total is 100 something episodes total. Now I heard they're coming back because they were trying to wait till the comic book finish or the manga finish to have more material because they didn't want to do a whole lot of fillers. So they're trying to wait for more material. Then they're going to do some more show. And I heard that they're working on it now, or is it coming out this year? I don't know, but it's coming out soon because it's been all for 4 years. I think it was maybe since the last time they had an episode. But yeah, it's pretty good. Like the fights are good, man. And also the explanation for how they fight, like with the narrator, it's pretty good. I actually like it. Like I would think it'd be, oh man, he just keep interrupting, but no. But I wouldn't say you need it. It's just different, because when I think of like American cartoons, they don't describe everything that's happening, and you don't have to. Like sometimes I don't need to know what like the Mr. Fantastic is thinking at this moment before he stretches out to punch somebody, something like that. Like sometimes they do explanations of like when they're planning something or why is something happening, but not while they're fighting. You know what I mean? Like, and not while they're fighting. They don't. So, but in anime, they do that. And sometimes they be stupid. Like, I think some things, like in Dragon Ball, I feel like you didn't have to explain this. Can you just go throw your fireball? I'm pretty satisfied just you doing that. And then saying if they're strong enough, if the guy's still standing, I know it wasn't strong enough. I was like, okay, it didn't work. And this, it does some of the same stuff like that, but it's enjoyable. It's more, I don't know. I find it more enjoyable than I did in Dragon Ball Z, with the narrator talking or explaining why this happened or what's happening here. I do find it funny in the last arc, though. Like, I was watching like maybe 10 episodes of like them storming this building, like fighting these people. I was like, man, these fights are long. Then one time, narrator was talking, and they said, "We are only 3 minutes into the operation." 3 minutes and 10 episodes. What the hell? So all this, he was trying to say that all this happened in like super speed. I was like, this is some bullshit. I said, this is some bullshit. 3 fucking episodes, 3 minutes, and like it was like a little less than 10, but it was definitely more than 3 episodes. I know that in 3 minutes. 3 minutes just happened in his operation. It's like the operation within 3 minutes happened. I was like, goodness gracious. Damn, I said, this guy's getting his ass whooped in 3 minutes. I said, Jesus. It's like, that's just a round of boxing. And all this shit happened. Like, this guy just, like, beat up 3 people in like a round of boxing. Good God. I was like, okay. Whatever. But, yeah, it's an alright show. I really enjoyed it. So, what you been watching?
So I've still been watching kind of the normal stuff. I watched Miss Marvel. I enjoyed this week's episode, maybe a little less than the previous episodes, because it sits in this weird place where it almost felt like it was the last episode because it wraps kind of what seemed like the main story stuff kind of was. So I'm left to wonder what they're actually going to do with this final episode for next week. But I still like all the characters on there. I think they do a good job with Miss Marvel herself. Her mother is a very enjoyable character as well. I talked a little bit about how like they went to Pakistan, and it's really only, her and her mother as far as like the core characters that we meet at the beginning of the show. Which is unfortunate because I like her dad a lot as well. He's very good. But yeah, it's really just going to be like, what are they going to do with this series? How are they going to wrap it up? Seemingly it doesn't appear like they're going to be doing anything like tying it back to the Inhumans or Terrigen Mist or any of that stuff. It seems like her powers are pretty much what they are right now and are going to stay that way at least through the Marvels movie that's coming out next year with her and, Carol Danvers and whatnot. So I'm just kind of like, I'm wondering where it's going. So It's kind of weird because the previous series, it's usually like, how are they going to be able to wrap this up with as much time as they have left? You know, there's not a lot of time left. Are they going to be able to pull this off? How are they going to like tie up these loose threads? Whereas this one, it's like somehow they tied everything up in this episode, and now what do they have left to do? And honestly, I would have liked for this episode to maybe have been expanded a little bit. So like, had the series been a little longer and given them some room to breathe. But I don't know. It feels weird that this last episode felt a little rushed, just to kind of not have much to do. I mean, like, there are things that are out there. It's not like everything's tied up in a nice little bow, but it also feels like if you start addressing some of those things in this final episode, then you're just like starting things to have no resolution to them until a next season or a Marvels or what have you, whatever's next for Kamala Khan, you know, because I don't know if they're doing a season 2. I don't know if they're doing a season 2 before the Marvels comes out, or if the Marvels will be the next place that she appears or not. So I'm kind of, you know, back and forth on this episode. I also watched some more Stargirl. I watched episode 2 of that.
I don't remember you watching 1.
I had started last week. I think I mentioned that I started watching it, or maybe I didn't, because I had just literally I'd seen like 15, 20 minutes of the beginning before we started.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
week.
did, because I was mad because you didn't watch it with your wife. Because I wanted her
right.
to watch
That's what it was. Yeah.
Did you make her watch it this time?
No, I didn't make her watch it this time. I'm just using it as like when I can fill things in, basically. And usually on the weekends she sleeps late, so it's hard to.
I hope because your wife can't watch it because she's reading the book I gave her.
No, it's because she's sleeping.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Stargirl, I'm enjoying it. I think it's definitely on the higher end quality of the CW products of the bit I've seen of you know, a couple of them. You know, I've seen a bit of Green Arrow, Arrow. I've seen a bit of the Flash. I've seen a bit of what were some of the lower ones?
Well,
I feel like
Dawson's Creek, like Dawson's Creek.
Yes, but like the DC stuff. I'm trying to think what one people were like.
Smallville?
Yeah, this one's. Nah, I mean, people were like the new Smallville.
Oh, there's only know one Smallville.
What's the new? Oh, that one's Clark and Lois.
Yeah, Lois and Clark. No, not Lois and Clark, but
Clark and Lois.
Is it
Superman and Lois?
Yeah, because they already did it, Lois and Clark. They really called it Lois and Clark again?
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
I think they like switched the names around or called it Superman, which I thought was okay too. You know, the couple episodes I watched with my wife when we were watching that on HBO Max. But yeah, to get back to Stargirl, I think the acting's good so far. It's Luke Wilson in there, I think.
Yes.
He's like the stepdad who is also like kind of a hero, but also kind of the former sidekick, not a hero. I think I'm surprised at how good everything looks. Like in the second episode, you see a lot of his robot, the Stripe or something like that, I think. And I'm surprised at how visually good that looks.
Iron Giant. That's his name.
Yeah, basically, it has very much Iron Giant vibes. But yeah, it's not anything that's like, whoa, this is revolutionizing anything. But it's enjoyable. I'm liking it a lot so far. So I'm guessing this is like a standard somewhere between 12 and 20 episode season.
Not even 20. I don't think it's 20. Maybe
but
12.
Like more than 10.
Yeah, I think maybe more than 10.
Okay. That might be pushing it because they are like hour-long episodes. But you know, they're TV hours, so it's like 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's not 12. Let me see. But I didn't. It felt long. It felt too long. I know that.
I mean, I guess as long as things keep moving along, then it's not gonna, feel like it's dragging on or anything. But just the thought of like, dedicating that much time I find hard.
Yeah, because it's a total of 26 between the 2 seasons.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, 13. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Like, I'd be willing to commit to that. So, yeah, I'm liking that show. When I turned on the first episode, I was not expecting to see Joel McHale and Luke Wilson at all. That came as a surprise to me. Also, the one lady that plays her mother.
Yeah,
I've seen her in a ton of things before. Yeah. So, did not necessarily expect the star power that
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, so I watched that. Also, I was catching up on a couple of things on Summer Games Done Quick, but the one that like I thought was worth talking about and like kind of shining light on if people haven't seen it, there's an Ocarina of Time, what they called like a Left Behind showcase or something like that. It's basically stuff that they found on the cart that the developers had made for like a pre-alpha or beta version of the game that didn't actually have a place in the final game. And the way they kind of play through that stuff, show it off, and make it into this nice little narrative, I think is really cool. That is that's like a tool-assisted speed run though. So they have what they call the little task bot, which is a Rob the Robot that they have just for, Summer Games Done Quick to be like, hey, here's the embodiment of us using these kind of cheat codes and stuff to do this. But it's cool because what they were doing was code injection, apparently. So by like doing this thing in this random order, well, not random order, in this very specific order, and then like pressing this button combination, you're then allowed to like upload data into the game to modify it. And it's just incredible what people can figure out and do with some of these games. And I think it's about less than an hour as far as, when you look at it on YouTube and you actually watch the game portion of it, because the way they upload them on YouTube a lot is usually like the game and then all the in-between stuff until the next game. So it can be intimidating when you look at that and see like this is a 2-hour thing, but an hour of that is usually like just kind of filler and rewards and talking about who's making donations and stuff. But yeah, I definitely recommend that.
How much money they made for this one?
Let me see. I didn't see the final total yet. Summer Games Done Quick 22. See if they have it on their main page here. No, that's the schedule. Event information. Dun, dun, dun. Wrap up. Why wouldn't you guys have how much money you made on the front page? That should be something you're celebrating. Let's see. Engadget says they raised $3 million.
Oh, okay. Not
okay,
a record breaker, but it's still
the
pretty
total
good.
amount was $3,016,200.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
keep those
cool.
doctors within borders. There we go.
Oh, Dominic, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's without borders. So they're like helping foreigners.
Oh my God.
You shouldn't have donated all that money, Dominic. They're over there helping the French. But yeah, I love that they do this stuff. Even if I don't necessarily get a chance to watch like every single segment, it's nice to be able to kind of pick and choose the games that either I'm interested in or you hear about like I think the ones that I find fun to watch are like the super quick ones, because they're like, even if it's not a game I'm interested in, it's like, how did they break this game in this way that they're somehow beating a 8-hour game in 20 plus minutes, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's nice to just every once in a while look at their page and like, I'll throw this on in the background or whatever. It's kind of cool. And I like I like when they have the guys on the couch explaining what they're doing too, because you know sometimes you pop onto Twitch and you can watch a guy like trying to beat Super Metroid in a speed run, but he's focused on playing that game, so you don't really know what he's doing or how he just made that glitch happen or whatever. But in summer games and awesome games done quick, they always do a really good job of having someone there who can kind of explain what's going on and how he did that and why it's super important that like this one time he pulled it off, even though it's like a frame perfect thing that you have to do. And a lot of people don't get it every time. I think that's just so cool. So yeah, watch that. And I also watched Thor Love and Thunder that came out earlier this week. And we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, so I don't want to like rehash those thoughts exactly. But what I told you basically was I enjoyed the movie. It's a bit of a mess as far as like tone goes, because you have these characters like Gore the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, who I think does a fantastic job with what he's got going on there. And then Jane Foster, who, if you're familiar with comics, becomes the mighty Thor because she has cancer. So you are dealing with those cancer elements in this movie. And then you just have wacky Ragnarok Thor, and even turned up to maybe 11 in this movie. Like, they took that Thor and just are absolutely running with that. And I think, you know, I don't hate it. You know, it gave... I didn't also hate the first Thor. You know, it was definitely a change in the character, but I don't think that was ever the issue with the Thor movies, was necessarily the way his character was portrayed. But this definitely just full on goes into that. You know, the Guardians are in this for some of that, so they're playing into that too, which they're very much kind of that irreverent humor type stuff. Korg's still around, the rock guy, so, you know, that is Taika Waititi, the director, doing his voice, so it's very much just his tone in there. But kind of the counterbalance of those two, like, more serious things, it just doesn't necessarily mesh well, and you find it pushing against each other a little more than kind of working against each other in a cohesive way to, like, show why, you know, like, this shouldn't be taken this seriously, or this should be taken more seriously, kind of thing. So that's kind of where my problems with it come in. But really, I still thought it was a fun movie that is enjoyable in a way. Like, I would rewatch this movie. It's not one of the Marvel films where it's like, I enjoyed it the first time through. It's not necessarily something I'm going to put back on again. And it felt pretty brisk. I don't know how long the runtime is on it, but it definitely didn't feel like it was a slog just sitting through it. And that, you know, part of that is just because it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it falls probably somewhere in the middle of the pack for me right now, if I'm just like thinking off the top of my head. I don't know exactly where it fits, but it's like I was telling you before we started recording, like, Thor 2, The Dark World is the lower tier of that series, and Ragnarok for me is kind of the upper tier of that series, with 1 being closer to Ragnarok than The Dark World. And I would put Love and Thunder in that range, in the Thor 1 range. Whether higher or lower than it, I'm not entirely sure, because I haven't watched Thor 1 in a bit. If I just had to think off the top of my head, I would say maybe this one's slightly lower than that, because I like the fish out of water, not dumb Thor, but kind of more ignorant Thor. Like you were saying before we recorded, basically the things you like about Thor is not just he's a big old goofball dummy. It's just like, yeah, he doesn't understand the earth. You know, he's from this different godly place, and he doesn't get, why he can't just, drink a beer and then some wench brings him another one or something like that kind of thing.
Oh, he could just throw it on the ground and like, give me another one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think overall it was all right. I want to see more from Christian Bale if they do more with him. I don't know one way or the other if they
now
could.
I know he don't. Well,
no, I don't think I am, because I'm just saying, like, this is a comic book movie at the end of the day. Like, whether he dies or doesn't die, like, they can find a way to bring him back if they wanted to.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, it's Christian Bale, and honestly, I'm a little surprised that he was willing to be in a comic book movie too. Well, I mean, he was Batman, for fuck's sake, but maybe a less serious comic book movie, I should say. So I don't know, because I mean, I don't know how long those comic book runs were with Gore the God Butcher, but like the stuff that he ties into, like the necro sword that he uses to kill the gods, was created by like Null, the symbiote god, and ties into like that stuff. And while there are like a lot of him using the shadows and things that look very like symbiote like, I was very much wondering if we would actually get some sort of like stinger or something with that, even though obviously Sony owns that stuff. But we did see, in Spider-Man, some of that come through. So I don't know how much Marvel is willing to or able to use any of that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely opening up like the wider world of like weird cosmic shit, that Marvel has. Like they are very much leaning into like, we're making the universes and the gods and everything like more and more absurd. So it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. I have my issues with it, but they're not deal breakers. It's still a fun movie to watch.
Hey, so why did they kill his friends?
Which ones? What are
Thor's from from the first Thor and the second Thor? Why did they kill him in Ragnarok?
Just to probably give fodder to Hela to say like, hey, we're killing important characters.
But because it makes it so comical, it doesn't make it feel like it should be bigger than what it is. What it was. It felt like it didn't feel that big. Yeah.
And honestly, I'll tell you right now, they kind of minimize them even more in this movie. So if you're a fan of the Warriors 3 or whatever they were called, yeah.
I mean, they could have made them something, because like they could have been something. Like at least for the Thor movies.
You could have ended. I mean, shit. They could have ended up with a Disney Plus series.
Yep.
You could have kept Zachary Levi around, keep him away from Shazam.
And we don't see her die.
Lady Sif.
Yeah, Lady Sif.
Well, she wasn't in that movie because she was on that Fox show, CBS, whatever the show was, where she wakes up in Times Square or whatever.
What was it? So where was she then? Like for the universe?
Yeah.
And she's not in this. Is she in this movie?
Do you want me to answer that?
Oh well, she is in the movie then. You just said that. Never mind. Is she married to the whatchamacallit girl?
Oh, to Valkyrie?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if Lady Sif is rolling that way.
Disney will make people roll wherever they fucking it gets them money or talk about. Get them talked about. Now I don't know.
But it's not going to make them money in China, Dominic.
Oh yeah. Well, they could just edit that part out.
They could. I mean, if this movie is getting released in China, there's definitely a lot of stuff that they would probably have to edit out.
Did they put Buzz Lightyear in China?
I don't know. I want to say no, because I think they wouldn't take out that scene. I think that was the
scene is nothing. No, I'm not listen. It's like a bad Chinese, but also bad Disney at the same time. I was like, I would take it out, honestly. I'll be like, fuck it. Because It's not. Let's be real here. This shit ain't art anymore because we're making a Lightyear movie. I mean, it should be dead anyway. Like the Toy Story is over. You should just leave it alone. So if you're about making money, and from what I hear, it's just one scene where they kiss. I'm taking that shit out and I'm putting it over there to make some money. Nice.
Yeah, because it's not like you're dramatically affecting the story. Yeah. It was just there to, yeah. I mean, I will say in this, Valkyrie is pretty unabashedly homosexual. I guess like she makes her intentions known.
Okay,
so we don't see anything too explicit, but
then
it's very clear.
Okay, so you care. All right.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. Representation, people. Woo!
Yes.
And she mixed. Woo!
All right. Yeah, and I will say Natalie Portman, I thought, did a good job as the mighty Thor. I like that character a lot.
Oh, so she don't end up with Valkyrie.
No, she doesn't end up with Valkyrie. The spoilers, Dominic Korg ends up with Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
The rock guy.
He's a woman?
Yep. He turns out to be a woman.
Oh.
No, but he's
non-binary.
Are you aware that his friend Meek is a woman? That's
a woman?
Yes, the little centipede-looking thing.
I mean, I've seen bugs, so they are ugly.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no. They don't put bows on them. If I can tell the woman or not.
Because she's like the secretary to King Valkyrie. So.
Oh.
But yeah, they do a good job with Valkyrie too. She's a good character in this. I think character-wise, I like them all. It's more just like an overall like tonal problem more than anything. So tonal confliction, I guess.
Is there no frost bridge?
What do you mean? Like
where are they? Like where is the kingdom now?
It's in like New Zealand, or not New Zealand, like Iceland there? Or something. They're in New Asgard, still on Earth. So Thor can summon the Bifrost, the bridge with Stormbreaker, but there is no like physical manifestation like there used to be going into Asgard. I
mean, so it's not that big because you said Ireland. Ireland not that big. So they
it's like Ireland or New Iceland
Zealand
or I don't think it's New Zealand because it's cold.
Oh, okay.
It's somewhere up in the like Icelandic areas.
There was some cold things I saw in The Hobbit.
I mean, I'm sure they have cold weather, but you know I don't know. I don't know how countries work.
They're in the southern hemisphere.
Does it snow in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in certain parts.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still where the Aborigines are because I never seen them wear that many clothes. Much clothes.
They wear parkas. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's what I've been watching this week, Dominic.
All right. So I guess we'll get into video games because I about to say we take a break because I thought we was going Flashback Segment. So I'll start with mine real quick. Okay. I played some more Trail, still playing through that game. I played a little bit of Ace Combat. I did a couple missions. I actually played with a plane, like one of their DLC planes. Not cool. Not from Maverick, but this thing has a laser. I don't like it much because it's kind of hard to target. It's good for ground because they don't move. Is
it one of those things where it just like shoots directly out of the front of the plane, so you have to like aim the entire plane instead of just firing off missiles? Got it.
Well, I have to aim the laser. I think the laser can move a bit, but it doesn't like missiles target. So I was like, I'd rather just shoot a missile than a laser.
Yeah.
So it's all right. The planes are fast though. Those new planes are pretty fast and everything, so that's pretty good. I was doing the mission where it was just foggy, so you're going low, but it's really a lot of mountains. I mean, not mountains, but I don't know what you call them, canyons, I guess. I don't know. Area, but it's forested, But it's just like you got to keep dodging them because if you go higher, it's too foggy. So and then a lot of the things you're trying to do, you're trying to bombard some of the anti-air stuff that's down there, the vehicles or whatever missiles, and so you have to go down those. So it's pretty hard, like to try to like, oh man, I gotta keep dodging these canyons or whatever before I blow up in them. Because I blow up a couple times running into those things, and cheats don't work when you go straight to a canyon. You just blow up.
Just have you bounce off of it.
Yeah, so I was hoping they do like in Chorus. Chorus, they do. They had you bounce off.
Nice.
So, what else? There was another mission where I had to protect this diplomat or whatever, or a military leader or something. But that's the mission I'm on now, and he keeps dying. So I stopped doing a good job of that. I'm just mad because the other computer mates ain't doing nothing either. There's other people supposed to be helping us. Like, come on, man, I'm blowing up all these missiles. I keep shooting at them. Y'all can help me out with some of the planes coming after them. So that's the mission I'm on now. Still having fun with that. Also on the Oculus, I played some more Swarm. Swarm is where you have those what are they called? It's not webbing because it's not Spider-Man. Darn. What the fuck would you call it? A core. You have some cores that shoot out and you grapple. Yeah, grapple. You grapple onto these platforms.
Grappling hook. Right.
And you kind of just shoot up and you're shooting these freaking robots, flying robots all around. And now I fought a boss, like a big snake boss or something. I had to fight and kill him. And now they have a smaller enemies that's like the boss that come up in this new stage I was in. And you get some new enemies, some new weapons come about, special weapons. You get like have a limited amount of bullets until you run out of them. What else? Something else I seemed to do in that thing, but whatever. But yeah, that game is just fun. I think people can get really dizzy playing that. I'm okay with it, but I can see people going like, "Oh man, I'm getting sick." Whatever. What else have I played? I played a game called Warhammer Tempestfall. It's one of the newest Warhammer games. It's not. It's the Warhammer with regular orcs and like the past, like olden times or something like that. But it's pretty neat. Like you have these weapons that can have some type of sorcery into them. Like, I have a sword, might have fire, and you can shoot it out, or some electric or something. I'm still getting used to the movements because it doesn't feel all that great to me right now. Using it, I'm like, just to hit the enemy is all right, but to use the actual powers feel kind of weird. It felt like I wasn't registering it. It wasn't registering it right, or maybe I wasn't doing something right. I'm not sure. But I'm at the very beginner stages of it. I just recorded a little bit of it, me killing some spirits or whatever. Then there's a game called Bladed Sorcery, and that is seemed like a sandbox kind of game. I played it in a sandbox kind of way. Like I chose a stage and they sent me there, and you have all kinds of powers. Like, because I set up where I could have infinite powers, so I could try everything. Because they even have a thing where, hey, you can just make it any way you want. You want to have invincible life or infinite powers or blah, blah, blah. So you can have a sword and a shield normally, like to slash people. And it seemed like really physics-based. Like I could stab them anywhere and they kind of move their body, whatever position you hit them in. It's still some jink to it, but I think it's still in a beta form. It's not a full-fledged game really yet. Maybe you can buy it. But it's not. I don't think it's like totally done. And it's probably, I guess you say, early access. And you can also use powers like you can shoot fireballs out your hands or electricity or what was the one I had? Like you can almost like a force power where you can just pick up people or pick up things and throw at them and things of that nature. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I really like it. Yeah, I mean, how it is. It's not like it's really just a sandbox thing I'm doing now. It's not really a story to it or whatever. I don't know if there is. I was just messing around a bit with it. Maybe I'll go deeper into it to see what it is. But yeah, I mean, I do like it. Like if there was some actual gameplay of like a story and something to it, it'll be pretty cool because it feels really realistic how you're fighting these enemies and like how you can block them and stop them, and then, like when you stab them, you kind of feel a little weight to it, like you're kind of jabbed into them, like how they vibrate and something like that, and how you can stick your knife, the sword inside them and something like that. It's pretty cool. So that's all I played this week. So what have you been playing?
So I went back and played some Force Unleashed on the PC. I had the Star Wars feeling coming off of Obi-Wan, and I've been thinking about that game a little bit. And I wanted to see how it is on the PC, like as far as load times and whatnot. And load times are definitely improved, but you still see them pop up real quick. And it's just absurd to me, like, that game had as many load times as it did. Like, you went into the pause menu, and then to, like, switch your upgrades or your lightsaber or your costume, and it had to load. And that was just stupid. But that game, I don't know if it holds up too great. Like, it plays fine, but it's definitely... You gotta get the Switch version. I thought about it, just like, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's not even the 360 version, so but I already had the PC version, the Ultimate Sith version, or whatever it was. There's some stuff that they have on like the Steam guides to make it run at a higher resolution, because I think it maxes out at 1080, and the frame rate is capped at 30. And there's an unlock to run it at 60, but apparently like the physics are tied to the frame rate, so it's one of those games. So you want to run it at like 40 max or something like that before things get wonky. I didn't mess with the frame rate stuff at all. It felt fine, but it was definitely a little bit on the slow side. It's maybe not quite as great as I remember it, but I've always remembered that game as something that was kind of an oddity for me to like as much as I did. And, because at the time, like, people thought it was an okay game, but nobody ever said it was like Game of the Year contention or anything. I just happened to pour a lot of time into it.
No, you said it was Game of the Year contention.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I liked it a lot, but coming back to it, I'm like, this is okay, but I don't know that I'm going to replay the entire game or anything like that. It also reminded me of the days when quick time events were very much more a thing in games, and I'm glad we have moved on from that, because even that game, which I think handles them very well, because what it does is it actually ties the button that you're pressing to the action that you would be doing, basically. So like if they want you to jump, you press the A button. If they want you to shoot force lightning, you press B or whatever the button is, or force push or whatever it is. Whereas like you'll get like a God of War game where it's like, we're just going to throw a random button up there because for whatever reason, we don't want you to know what button's coming up next. And it's like,
that's what it did on Umbrella Chronicles. That's what it used to do. It would never be the same button.
That was never good. Like, that was just random challenge. It's like, can you press this button fast enough? But also, you don't know what button we're going to make you press. So I thought that was actually clever back in the day. But now it's like, could we just not do QuickTime events? Thank you. And we've mostly moved away from those, I feel like. So that game's whatever. But it did make me want to go back into Jedi Fallen Order, so I played a little bit more of that as well. I just picked up where I was, which initially was like, I remembered where I was. It was like the first planet I came out of, like finding that first Jedi temple and realizing like, oh, hey, I could be a Jedi. For real. And it was more me just like getting reaccustomed to the controls. And that took me a little bit, but I got there, and that game looks good. It plays well. I didn't have any of the troubles that I was having before, as far as like it just running weird. But I think I told you, but I got some hardware from one of my coworkers that I had to fix up. But now that stuff's working, it's a little better than what I had previously. So, maybe that's why my hardware's just a little bit improved now. Yeah, so I just played a little bit of that. I didn't get too far into it just yet, but kind of went to the next planet, started exploring there. I think I'm going to get like Force Push soon or something like that, and been able to do that. The thing I like about that game is they, so far at least in the early goings, the enemies that you fight that are a little tougher are mostly like the wildlife in the environment, because you just absolutely destroy regular stormtroopers. You know, they take like one or two slashes.
Going in and out. My fault. You kind of going in and out.
Gotcha.
Okay, now you sound better.
Cool. Yeah, but like you just absolutely destroy stormtroopers in that game. Like it takes one or two slashes of the lightsaber. You're not really, dealing with them too much. Whereas in Force Unleashed, I think you mow through them pretty easily, but there are just so many of them. Like it's endless. And part of that I think was like the power fantasy of Force Unleashed, because you were supposed to be like one of the most powerful Force users in the universe, and you were also like Darth Vader's secret apprentice. So you were mowing through stormtroopers, you were mowing through rebels, you were just fighting everybody. But yeah, I think Fallen Order is cool. I'd really like to get through this game. It doesn't really play on the Dark Souls stuff too much. Like obviously they have the kind of shrines thing where you meditate and then all the enemies respawn, which I could probably do without. But it doesn't seem like too offensively hard in that way. And there's also like level difficulties, right? Like I'm playing on whatever the lowest above story mode is, but there is a story mode, which I would imagine basically just allows you to fucking not even worry about enemies and take them at your own pace. So yeah, playing some more of that. And I was telling you last week, I played a little bit of Fall Guys on the Switch, and that did make me motivated to install it on my PC, where it just fucking runs so much better. Like it's really ridiculous how it kind of neutered, I guess, that Switch version is. I mean, they did what they had to do to make it run on that thing, but the difference of seeing like everyone around you running like they're in a slideshow versus them just smoothly running like you are, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna play the Switch version basically at all anymore. I got to one final round where it was me versus another guy. We were the last two, and it was one of those where you're on the you're on the platform, and then there's the thing spinning in the middle with the two, like one at the top, one at the bottom, kind of rollers or whatever, and you have to jump over the lower one while not getting hit by the top one. And I thought I had it, Dominic, but he edged me out just a little bit, so. Have not gotten a win on the PC yet. Have not gotten a win since that first Switch game that I played. But so far I'm liking all the stuff I've dealt with. Like, yeah, they're both linked. I do need to like turn my PlayStation 4 back on and see if I can like retroactively link that one too, because I very much like have no cosmetics whatsoever between those two right now, and I definitely have a lot more on the PS4 stuff, even without having bought anything. So they were doing a Halo themed thing, Spartan something, but it seemed like one of those team based things. Like it was like gathering balls, like it was what's that, Griff Ball that they do in Halo? It was kind of like that, and I was like, I don't think I want to do that in the Fall Guys universe, where everything is like just wonky enough to be frustrating. Because I still haven't really dealt with any sort of team-based objectives, which I'm absolutely happy about.
Maybe
those are always my least favorite.
They heard
ones.
People complain about them and said, "Okay, we're not going to put them in as much."
Mm-hmm. Because I did come across one that was like volleyball, but it was literally just like me versus one person. So I guess it was basically everybody got paired up, and then you play against one person, and then, whoever loses that gets kicked. But yeah, the Fall Guys is a lot of fun. It's still cool. I'm glad they made it free to play along with launching it on the Xbox and the Switch, because that'll really rejuvenate. That'll really bring the community back, basically.
Yeah.
Rejuvenate. Keep that game alive for a little bit longer. It'll outlive my interest in it, I'm sure, and that's all I'm looking for, is to be able to play games with 60 people. Because there are some times where you'll get into a game where like people will drop out at the very beginning or something, and you start to see people disappear, and it's like, it's not. I like the chaos of just like this one big group of people moving together, especially through like the racing levels.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I need to do to get to like the outside edge and get ahead of this pack, So, yeah, that's what I've been playing this week.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2012. So this week in July, we got a few games. We got Frogger Hyper Arcade Edition on the PlayStation Network. I don't know if it came to the Xbox Live Arcade, though. And Wikipedia
Sounds like they were trying to do Mega Man DX with Frogger.
Or like the Pac-Man DX.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, that's what you say. Oh, okay.
That's the one.
Because I never heard this. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Did it come to Yeah, it came to 360 also.
Yeah.
I just don't know when, because I don't see it up here. It usually comes on
like
the
it came
Wednesday.
To the WiiWare too, yeah.
But it could have been a little exclusive before. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I don't know what it got rated. Though, let me see here. What does this have? That? Nope.
Well, it looks like that's Nintendo Life Metacritic, Xbox 360. They had 55.
Oh, they don't have a PlayStation one.
62 on the PS3.
Okay, so the PlayStation one's better for some reason. I don't know why, but it is.
Lower standards.
Okay, what we got here? We got NCAA Football 13. This is the second to last one. The last one is next year, 14. So I had this one. This is with RG3 on the front and another player.
Oh, okay.
I try to remember. Oh, Barry Sanders. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. I think it was the current player. Yes. They had they had a old Heisman Trophy winner and a new one, and the most recent one. So I had this one, and I was excited because I was like, "Hey, RG3, that's my quarterback. That's gonna be my quarterback." And he had a great year that year, Daniel, for the Washington team. Well, the Redskins at the time. I don't do revision. We don't do revisionist history on this podcast. Sorry, that's a joke.
We do all the time, Dominic.
Anyway, Alexa, to my benefit, we do it. We'll do revisionist history. So yes, the Washington Redskins won every Super Bowl. The past. But no, he did great. Yeah, he did great. Of course, his last year in Beerley, he was awesome, and then he did great coming in the NFL. He had so much high hopes for him. And it just went downhill after that year.
Yeah, shit, man. They're comparing him to Barry Sanders.
I don't know about that. But he is said he wants to come back this year to play, though. Oh. Yeah, he's ready to come back. I will find it funny that if he does get picked up by a team, it's like, damn, and Kaepernick's still not on the team. But you know what? Like I told my dad, I said RG3 was one of the good ones. That's all I'm going to say. All right.
That's all you need to say, Dom.
Quantum Conundrum.
Yeah.
You got this game, which I think we talked about this one, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about the Xbox Live release last week.
So now it's on PS3. So they get to play this great game. That it got 76 on the PS3. 79 on Metacritic. I look at Game because I forget. I don't like to look at them unless I have to. 79 on PS3. 76 on. Also, it got higher on a Metacritic than the Xbox 360. So this versus is better for reasons I don't know, but it is. Or maybe they got a magazine, the PlayStation magazine probably give it a super high score.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what we got here? We got Rainbow Moon for the PlayStation Network. And this game, it was only released on PlayStation platforms. And it is developed by SideQuest. I'm trying to see what the hell this game is. The game borrows heavily from the dungeon crawling genre, while the player traverses the game world, but incorporate elements from tactical role-playing games when enemies are engaged in battle. It was digital only for the PlayStation platforms. Even the PS4 it came to there, and it got a 70 across the board on all those platforms. The Vita 2 included. So it's an alright game. Destructoid gave it a 6 out of 10 though. GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10. Eurogamer gave it a 7. IGN gave it an 8. Joystick gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Games Radar gave it a 2.5 stars. So it's a little mix to good. I mean, I guess you really have to just try it out if you want to try it. I mean, if you think about even getting it. All right, so what do we got here? We got Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. I have no idea what the hell this is, but I know it's a rhythm game, so I know I'm not into it. Oh, wait a minute, I've seen this one. I've seen this game. I feel like I even played it. Was there a demo? I'm trying to think, because I've seen this guy. I felt like I did touch this game for some reason. Okay, let me get out of here. Let me see what else did it come on. Okay,
it looks like there was a demo, yeah.
Okay, I played the demo of it. I probably played I think I played the demo of this game. I don't remember it much, but I know it's a rhythm game. Rhythm puzzle game. It got decent scores for the 3DS, 76. Not for the iOS, though, as it should. All your iOS games should get bad scores so you can get off of there and come to other platforms. But no, it's a rhythm-based game, and you play as a kid in a fedora and a suit, and then you have a dog that looks like Tintin's dog with the spot on his eye. So, and plus, it's in France too, so maybe he did. He stole Tintin's dog and then put a spot over his eye so he wouldn't know that it's his dog.
Damn him.
Now, I don't know if it's based in France. That could be just a location where he's dancing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. France is a dancing city.
Yeah, and I don't know if France have emperors. I thought they said kings and queens too. Anyway, it's got a little stylish thing. It's a little neat thing going on here. Dancing. I forgot what kind of music they played. Let me see here. Did I leave it? Did I leave the place? Yep.
Jazzy.
Cause I'm trying to
Feels
see.
like it would have a jazzy vibe.
That's what I feel like. And plus, Japanese do like jazz. They stole it from black people. Yeah, I said it. And then, okay, it says in the Western version, the ending of that's talking about the ending. No, let me see. Doing the story, blah blah blah. Why do Wikipedia want to tell that? It's the base of the damn game. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to say it was swing music. There you go.
It looks like it would have that kind of vibe to it too.
Yeah.
It's the fedora mostly that gives it away.
All
Actually,
right.
you know what? It's very much like that.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's jazzy. It's up-tempo jazzy.
Cool. All right, so what else we have here? We got Summer Stars 2012. And Wikipedia's not happy with this, but I'm going to guess it's like maybe Summer Games, I want to say. But like Olympic Games?
It's off-brand Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's almost exactly what this looks like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a PlayStation Move game.
But it doesn't actually say Olympics up here.
Oh, definitely not, no.
I don't think they probably can't get the license. So,
no, it's Summer Games set in London. Which I'm guessing, like, that year the Olympics were in London also?
Yes.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, yep. So, yeah, this is very much... We wanted to make an Olympics PlayStation Move game, but could not get the Olympics license.
I think it came to Xbox 360 too eventually.
Oh, okay.
So I see a cover for it.
Did it have Kinect support?
Yes. I think
Okay,
this is the made for. Yep. Yeah, because these locations
came to the Wii.
They say in London, whatever. Dude, I see freaking palm trees and stuff. This person on a diving board. Where the hell in London is that? I mean, it gotta be artificial. That's
on the resort.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna guess this game got like a 10 out of 10. So yeah, go get it, people.
Let's see. Metacritic has absolutely no scores for the Wii version. The PS3 version does not really have a culmination of scores. Gaming Age gave it a 75 on the PS3.
This game wasn't nobody even of note tried this game out.
Nope. PlayStation Official Magazine in the UK gave it a 70. And
anything
it doesn't even want to go to the
gave
Xbox 360
a decent score in there.
No user reviews. Yes, they're biased.
So there you go, people, buy it. It's on the PS3 and Wii, and maybe it comes out later on the 360, because I thought I saw a cover, but that maybe got canceled. Maybe Xbox said, no, I don't want this shit up here. All right. So now we're going back 20 years. Only one game for this year. Digimon World 3 came out in Japan. So there you go. I don't know how good this Digimon is. I don't think it mattered. I think you were their fan. You were getting it anyway. And it has on the front, it has Gaomon, the Tyrannosaurus Rex one. It has that new one.
A bear wearing a bear's hat.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
A bear skull cap, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's a backward hat. It
looks like a backwards hat to me. Because I was thinking skull cap at first, too.
Then it has a red one that was in season 3 of Digimon, where I tried to watch it, but I was like, nope, this is not good as season 1 and 2, and I don't like it because I don't know these people.
Confirmed the CG intro has it showing as a backwards cap. And also he's got like belts tied around his hands for some reason.
Oh, he's going the Kingdom Hearts route.
I was going to say he's going full Kingdom Hearts.
Getting those, he got the belts and he needs to get some zippers.
Yep.
Zippers with that zip to nothing that just zip up and down like no reason at all. Yeah, and basically that's it. Nothing much because middle of July, usually not a lot of tons of games coming out.
Yeah, not back in those days.
Yeah. Shucks, even for 10 years ago. Well, which is, you got a few games though, but then you got, of course you got probably, if you go on Steam, you have a whole lot of games. You probably had a lot of games like if you go to that site, Dick Games, maybe they have something like those games there.
Do they have a this day in Dick history?
Yeah, they should. Actually, that site probably wasn't even made yet though. Site probably wasn't even made until Being a Dick was out. When they say, oh, we're going to make a Dick game site where we can put all these type of sexual games up there. All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're doing the gaming news. What we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic. So Nintendo announced that they are going to be releasing a new Splatoon-themed Switch OLED. This is going to have...
It can't be the Switch 2?
No Switch 2. Still no new hardware. Just new crazy colors, Dominic. This one's going to have a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a subtle design, like a dark gray on black with different Splatoon-esque designs on the back of the console itself. And then on the back of the Joy-Cons, it's white. And then on the front of the Joy-Cons, it's like a fade from green to yellow and then purple to pink. I think it looks really good as far as matching the Splatoon theme with the crazy colors they have and everything like that. I think it looks pretty cool. They also announced a Pro Controller and a carrying case to go along with it. The Pro Controller is going to launch on the same day as Splatoon 3, which is September 9th. And the console is actually coming out a week ahead of time on August 26th. But the Pro Controller looks like they put far less effort into it because it's literally just the rubber grippy bits on the bottom of the hands are just different colors. Like they aren't even like these faded colors. It's just like one side is blue and one side is green or something like that. Like it's very low effort, it feels like, compared to what they did at least with the Joy-Cons, which looks pretty cool. So that's kind of nah. But if you don't have a Switch OLED, you're looking to get one, you like Splatoon a lot, this seems like a pretty cool one to get. And of course the dock also has kind of the same similar design of like black and dark gray, but then it has like a big splat of Splatoon color on
Should be
there.
a gift card to like Red Lobster to get some free calamari, something like that.
How offensive, Dominic? How offensive?
What's it called? The
What's that?
Boham? The sushi place. Oh shit! The one is not near here, but I think it's probably over other places. Oh my god!
I am not familiar with sushi, Dominic. I am uncultured swine.
Well, it's not just sushi. It's like a Japanese style restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. Damn it. Okay, forget it then. I'm going to remember it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like,
It began with the B. Well, maybe not begin with the B, but it has a word that's a B in
there's
there.
a B in there.
Oh, man. No, not in Baltimore. I don't think it's in Baltimore.
Now
Maybe it's in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
I mean, because, it's over there.
Bonsai?
Not Bonsai, no.
No.
God. Benihara? Something.
Oh, Benihana's?
Benihana's, yeah.
I completely, even saying that now, I completely forgot that that was a Japanese thing. Like, for some reason, that and Fogo de Chao are, like, crossing in my mind.
Oh, so there is a Benihana. Oh, it's in Bethesda. Okay. Yeah, it's not one in Baltimore.
That sounds about right. That sounds like a Bethesda type thing. Benihana.
It was founded in New York City. Yep. Japanese influenced restaurant.
Oh, there's one in Baltimore, too.
Where?
Lancaster Street.
Why the closest one they show me is Bethesda?
Because they know you don't like going into Baltimore, Dominic.
You said where?
What did I say? Lancaster Street? Let's see. On this map, if I can. What's it by?
Okay, it says Baltimore, Maryland.
What?
Oh,
That's in Bethesda. Son of a bitch.
I guess they consider Bethesda Baltimore. Okay. Fine.
Bastards.
I mean, I guess if you're like far away.
Wait, no, that's
why
a different.
not?
Okay, hold on. That's a different address. Where is it?
Oh no,
Show
I
it
see it.
to me on
Yeah,
this map.
it's in southeast. It's like over by Fells Point.
Okay. Oh, I see it here. But why are they calling it RA Sushi?
That's what I
Bar
see. I don't think it's
restaurant.
called Benny Harms anymore. That's what I think it happened. Yeah, that's what I see too. It says RA Sushi.
Benihana, Baltimore, crafted by RA Sushi. We are located inside RA Sushi.
Oh, it's
Please
like a big
proceed
place.
to the host stand. That sounds weird. Is Benihana now one of those things that like other restaurants make, but like it's not actually a Benihana?
Oh, kind of like Hibachi Grill or something. Like I see a lot.
Well,
of...
like there are things you can order from like they're made at Applebee's, but if you order them on like Uber Eats or something, it's some other company and they have exclusive like weird foods. I don't know. It's so odd. It almost feels like it's just some dude in the back of a Applebee's like doing it on the side.
This don't count then.
Yeah. No. Got to go to Bethesda for the real thing. All right, Dominic. So this week we saw also announced the RoboCop game RoboCop Rogue City. It's going to be a first-person shooter coming out in June of 2023. There's a trailer out there right now.
Is it like 80s RoboCop?
Yes, it is Peter Weller, original RoboCop. And the graphics look like a game made in the 80s. They don't look that bad, but it does not.
What's his name playing RoboCop?
Great. Peter Weller.
Oh, you say Peter Weller is playing RoboCop?
Yeah, Peter Weller is playing RoboCop.
Well, I never knew his name. I never knew his name.
Yeah, the same guy played him in Mortal Kombat, the original one, not the souped up one from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Probably 20 years ago at this point, sadly, because we're old. Yeah, so I don't know.
Because you said Peter Weller's RoboCop. It sounded like you were talking about a director or something like that.
Yeah.
The director was Paul. I don't know who the hell this guy is.
Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's the same guy that did like Starship Troopers or something like that. I don't know. I've definitely heard that name before. Yes, I mean, what do you think, Dominic? Are you at all interested in anything related to RoboCop?
Well, I was a big RoboCop fan, so yeah.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that movie like I don't know how many times. The first.
Were you a fan of 2 and 3 also?
Oh, 2, 3.
2.
I haven't. I only seen it one time.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it much, but 2 and 1. 1 I saw the most. 2 I watched quite a few times too. I used to like them as a kid.
I was going to say at a highly inappropriate age, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, what could they do for this game that would get you interested in it?
I mean, just be like the like have an 80s style to it. Like, I mean, I don't know much. I mean, just really be. God, Peter Weller looks very old.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, just make a good fucking game, man. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's the hoping. I don't.
I mean, who's making a game?
See. That's what I was just looking up. I didn't see that originally.
Is it WB publishing it?
Steam Namco. No, not Namco. Nacco.
What the hell is that?
Nacon, the same people who published The Sinking City and Blood Bowl. And that game Steel Rising, which did that come out? Oh, that's coming out. Still. The one that kind of looks like Bayonetta, but you're a robot lady.
Oh, okay.
So, not a big publisher, but a publisher that has put out reputable things. And the developer is Teyon. They have nothing listed on Steam as far as what they have previously made. So, let's see. Their official website has RoboCop. And also, oh, that's who it was. I did see this. The same people that made Terminator Resistance are making this game.
Well, then I don't care about this game.
I should have led with that. Sorry, Dominic. Just built you up to then bring you back down to reality. So, but they've also got like The Flame and the Flood and Human Fall Flat. Like those are. Did they work on these games too? Or
but those games
they publish those in Japan.
Different, yeah.
I think they just published them in Japan. Yeah, that's what it is. They also published that Bomber Crew game that you played on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, yeah, that game maybe isn't going to be good, but we'll see. There's potential.
It's going to be an isometric. You said for FPS. Okay.
First person shooter.
So, okay. Yeah, so my
graphics look a little rough, though.
Oh, they showed it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of gameplay in the trailer that came out with it. You see a little bit of... excuse me. Ugh. You see a little bit of kind of everything that you would expect from a RoboCop movie, you know. You see Ed 209 or whatever that big robot guy is. And drug dealers and robot And RoboCop shooting people's
They
dicks
have like
off.
women screaming and then coming to hug you because you saved them, like they did in that movie.
You know what? I don't think they did. So yeah, this doesn't quite hit all the marks, I guess. But yeah, definitely, it does have a 80s vibe to it. Not like in an over the top like synthwave kind of 80s vibe, but just like
definitely, yeah.
Like this scummy business suit, but the suit is like too big for him, and that guy definitely just sniffed crack vibe, that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely, I mean, and yeah, like this first person stuff they show it now looks pretty good, but I don't know if that's going to be actual in game or what.
Yeah. See, that's like the environments look good. The people,
slightly
less
yeah.
good. They don't look awful, but they definitely don't look as good as the environments. So, all right, Dominic, we got another game announcement this week. Sort of game, sort of expansion. Gwent Rogue Mage is a new single-player Gwent game releasing on the PC, iOS, and Android. It's out now, actually, for $9.99. You can also get a like Premier Edition that's $20 that comes with in-game skins and cosmetics for the multiplayer. Well, and card packs for the multiplayer Gwent, which I had thought got killed, but it was just like the console versions, right?
Yeah.
Or the Xbox version specifically, I think. Because I thought for whatever reason they had taken that whole thing down.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But
I thought they did too.
Cool.
But not the story mode one. They took down the actual like. Then they take down just the card game, like just the online game, because there's a story mode game that's separate. That's what I played.
Oh right. God, they made that complicated. Yeah, that's what they did. They killed it on all the consoles. It wasn't just the Xbox, but the PC version and the mobile versions are still going on. The multiplayer
of just the card game, the playing card game, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool that they're doing something with it, especially single player stuff. I mean, you know how I feel.
The other game was pretty good.
Single player stuff over that.
Yeah. I just didn't finish it, but it was I liked it what I played.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I hope this is pretty all right too.
Yeah, because I remember you were saying like it actually did interesting story stuff with the like in between the card game.
Oh yeah,
stuff too,
because
right?
you got choices to make and things of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool, and it seems like they're doing similar stuff with this one. So
I mean, I never played the Warcraft story games. Not the Warcraft. I mean the Hearthstone stuff for Blizzard. I don't know how much is that similar. Like, is it like story bits and you make a choice and you just play battles through cards just like that?
I don't know because I never wanted to end up spending money on that to play those. But I don't think it was as complex as that. I think it was just like, here's this like boss tower basically of people you're gonna fight, and here are the new cards that are gonna be a part of this. But I don't think they ever did like
a story
choices and different paths and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's cool, pretty unique to what they're doing.
Because that was the only reason I was even thinking about doing it after playing the Witcher one. I was like, oh, maybe the Hearthstone stuff is like that. Yeah. But if it's not, then yeah, well, okay, I didn't miss out on anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's fleshed out in the same way. All right, Dominic, next up, we got news on E3 next year, 2023. It is finally happening again in person. And I believe them this time because they are partnering with ReedPop, the people who put on PAX and also do New York Comic Con. And I think I also read that they do Star Wars Celebration.
ReedPop? Are those the guys who do the toys?
No, that's Funko Pop.
Oh, okay.
No, ReedPop are the organizers behind like PAX. So they know how to do this stuff. PAX has come back since pandemic times. So I have no doubt that next year there's going to be an event. What that event is going to be, I don't know, because like ReedPop's events are more like consumer focused and fan focused, like Star Wars Celebration. They have business announcements and stuff like that, but a lot of it is just people going to enjoy the convention kind of aspect of it in the same way you do with a PAX. So I wonder, because they did talk about, media signups are going to be happening at the end of 2022. They made sure to note that it was going to be secure media signups because obviously the ESA has leaked people in the media's information for like the past 2 years now, which did not lead to helping them try and bring E3 back. But what do you think, Dominic, compared to what we saw of E3 in the past versus what we've seen over these past couple of years with Jeff Keighley's kind of, E3 equivalent Summer Games Fest stuff? Mm-hmm. What do you prefer? Do you like the consolidated kind of everything happening at the same time because there is a physical event happening, so everybody's meeting there? Or do you like these spaced out, a little bit more spaced out kind of events?
I want everything. but no,
I want one big announcement event, but also little things around them.
No, but I do like the announcement. I like it as an event where it's like over the span of days, we're showing big things. So it doesn't even have to be in a location, but just happening. But in a location, it's pretty nice if I can hear what people's experiences are and what they saw, and for they can compare, like the event they went to, and another person probably had to go to another event at the same time and talk about it or something like that. And I do, I mean, I like it, even though I'm never going to go or anything. But I do like for people to have experience where they can tell us about it, and we can see the videos at least of what they shown and everything. They're trying to one up each other at these events, like these companies or something. I mean, because it's fun. It seems like it's a cool thing, for the fans. I mean, at first it was just an expo for business and stuff, but now it's become more of a fan event, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I do like it that way. Like, if it went away, I wouldn't be totally mad. I just wanted everything happened at the same time, because even now, a lot of stuff happened sort of around the same time. It was still stuff coming out later, because like God of War, we got later. And it come out in the PlayStation event that was happening right before the Summer Game Fest, because that was just what was that one about? Mostly VR stuff, I think, in that one. Yeah,
there was some VR stuff. There was also, was it like more third-party stuff? God, I can't even remember, to be honest.
I think it's mostly because that's why I remember the VR stuff from Horizon. And I think that was more the new VR, whatever. And like then they showed God of War, and then
that's also where they showed Resident Evil. That's what the other big one was. Yeah,
and so things are kind of spread out where I can feel like I don't mind it in one big place. Then I know some people say, like we even mentioned here, that having so many things at one time, you don't remember. But for some reason, on E3 in the past, before indies really became big, I did remember a lot of stuff. Yeah. Now it was so.
There's just like a level of how much content is there now.
Yeah,
that it's hard.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, there was a lot of stuff, but it wasn't as much as now. Even though then it was a lot, but it was enough for me to grasp, to remember something. I mean, some things, they just weren't that good, so they were in the background. So it kind of hurt them, but then again, they weren't that good either. So it wasn't like, oh man, it got lost because of these other games. No, it got lost because it wasn't that good. Because somebody would have talked it up, because people were. That's when people had you had big staff, so you had people to do everything. So you had somebody to mention if this game is even worth talking about or not. So like now with indies, almost like maybe you do have to do more than one show. Maybe be a show like E3. You show the big stuff. So what you think is huge, even if it's an indie game, but a huge indie game, a game that's people should be seeing here. then you still have a show where you're showing off the rest of them, so they won't get lost. Like you space it out, maybe like, hey, a month later or something like that. This is the indie showcase, and people know it's an indie showcase. This is what it is, and then you show off those games, which they sort of do now. It's just not. We don't know when it's happening, but they do that, and I do appreciate that. Even though people get mad on the internet, people get angry, especially Nintendo people, because they all just want their Nintendo games. They hate indie showcases. I mean, I think, well, actually, in all the companies, they hate indie showcases, really. But I like it because I can see something, that I enjoy. And since now, as I get older, because back in the day, I probably would be just like them. Like, I don't give a goddamn. I mean, show me the big games. Like, I don't care about these small little these exploration games of, like, feelings and shit. Just what the hell is this, man? I don't give a damn about that. But... So it has its pros and cons, but I do. But overall, I do like the whole thing, like everybody coming together and showing off their best stuff. I mean, that's what all these companies do for any kind of convention of anything. Like it could be about hair products. They have a big convention. Everybody come together for like a 3-day weekend showing off their best product. Like the electronics expos of showing off the latest electronics and things of that nature. Like they all do that, and I like when games do that, when they have that shown off. Between E3 and then you have PAX. I mean, PAX is a little smaller, but it's gotten bigger with the indie stuff, and it has some big stuff too. Some big games show up, but I kind of I kind of wish it would go back to the format, not go back, but be like PAX is still the indie space or something like that, and they have a show kind of like what E3 is with the indie stuff, but still have it like that, because then it'd be like, oh yeah, this is the big thing for these new indie games and stuff like that, and I can just see them, and I mean they're just as fun as the big games or even better. I mean, because it's all, if you go by like quality of fun, that's not really limited like just to money. You have fun, you have fun. So just to have them have their space. But no, I'm glad E3's back. Like, I'm happy E3's back. I don't know if the internet is even there at a point where like, oh, we love Jeff Keighley or something like that, and they hate E3. I don't know. Like regular folks. I ain't talking about journalists and stuff like that. They have their own feelings on this stuff, because a lot of time I heard them bitching about E3 before, years ago, just like, oh, it's so crowded there and stuff. Where, like, for me, I'm not there, so it don't make a difference. I don't give a damn how you feel. You better tell me what the hell's there, and tell me if you like it or not. That's all. That's all I care about. But I mean, Jeff Keighley can still have his Summer Game Fest. I don't care. I mean, it suck if it's around the same time, though. That's what I don't want. Yeah, I don't want it within that same I want it a month away. Like, if it's
I was going to say, give them a month apart.
Yeah, man. I don't want, because I think last time it was like, what, days?
Yeah.
It was just days or a day? I don't know what it was, because like, I think Jeff Keighley happened a little earlier or later, and E3 was happening. I forgot what it was. What was it last year? I don't think it was. I know it wasn't a week. It had to be days. I think it was days. I think Jeff Keighley's show was like right before, and then he couldn't record E3 or something, because they said, like, not licensing, but they're like, almost like how we, with Netflix, was showing us shit off on our channel.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I don't want it that. That's what I don't want. Like, I don't want to be a versus, like, oh, you're watching Jeff Keighley's thing, or you're watching E3. Even though I'm not really watching, most of the time I'm watching this live anyway, but but just the content wise, I'm like, just in case somebody wants to do both, somebody wants to show off on both, they gotta decide which one to show off on. Yeah, I know something's gonna be exclusive to which one, which that's fine. I'm okay with that, but I don't want them all bunched up, because that's just too much information at once. Or I'll be saying the same shit like right back to back. I'm like, 'cause if somebody does it on both, I'm like, man, I seen your shit on Jeff Keighley's show. I seen this on E3 already. I just literally saw it. I don't want to see this stuff again. So what do you think? about this stuff.
I'm kind of right there with you. Like, I like the big spectacle of having everything together at the same time. I also appreciate some of the stuff that we've gotten since E3 has kind of gone away, like the summer demos stuff, where it's now like, oh, well, people can't be here in person. We should make this stuff available to them over the internet, which is something you and I have been saying for years now. I mean, ever since Xbox 360
COVID
popularized
I think
that
COVID
stuff.
was like the first year we noticed it anyway. If they had me before then, I have no idea. But the COVID year
that was when they
had
definitely
that Xbox
invested
thing.
in doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And not
So
just the
I hope that
one.
remains.
What was it? Like the one where, you got to buy a ticket and get in line to play it. That shit.
That's the Cannes Summer Film Festival stuff or whatever.
God darn. And it just happened recently with some of Game Fest stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do that, man. I said, just put your demo out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're clear about like, hey, this is not reflective of the final product and whatnot, like, I think you could get away with putting out something that's somewhat broken as long as it's not broken in a way that's like going to compromise the security of the console and, make it so people can hack into the console, because then, Xbox or Sony or whoever will be mad at you. But you can put out something that maybe crashes on somebody as long as you make it clear that, hey, this is what we're putting out. We wouldn't typically have people play this, but because we want to be open and transparent about our game development, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Not charging people money for it, so it's not a concern as far as I think. But yeah, I mean, ReedPop definitely feels like the people to get E3 back into a shape where it actually happens. I mean, they have a proven track record. The ESA has been failing for several years leading into the COVID times. And yeah, I'm all for more video game news, but also like, let's make it so it's digestible. But I think the Cheap Ass Gamer podcast, they were talking about, E3 and how they miss it because those guys would actually go, right? And I think it was Shipwreck that said the reason he likes in-person E3s is because you have people having different experiences with games, whereas when you just have everybody ingesting a video over the internet, everybody's going to have kind of the same opinions, the same hot takes. You're going to get very similar thoughts. Whereas if you are actually going and in person, you get your hands on it, you might feel like it feels a little floaty, whereas somebody else may say it feels tight. You just get different experiences, and that leads to more interesting conversations that end up having instead of just, it looks like a new Mario. Cool. So. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we do next year. But yeah, I didn't even think about it as far as the Jeff Keighley stuff. Yeah, where does that put him? Is he willing to maybe work with them, or is he I'm pot committed?
I mean, I'm saying that it could change, because not everything's things personal, but people put business usually all over personal things. They usually.
Yeah, I mean, I think the inclusion of ReedPop as kind of like a third-party moderator could make it for an easier transition than if it were just like the ESA coming back to Jeff Keighley and being like, hey, you want to be a part of our thing? And him just being like, bro, I've already got my own thing that replaced your thing. Why would I want anything to do with your thing? But like ReedPop, it feels like maybe they would reach out to him and be like, hey, can we get you for this and pay you a lot of money?
No, they're gonna get what's his name that used to be on the Sony podcast?
The Sony podcast. Greg Miller?
Yeah. He was doing the EA stuff, like hosting that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that was just like, who's he a part of now? Or is he just
I think he's still doing the kind of funny stuff.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know, because like every once in a while I catch something of his on Twitter And I don't know. I felt like I got the impression from something that maybe he wasn't with them anymore, but I don't think that's true. I think he's still around, but maybe he's not as big of an on-screen personality, because I know he does have like a wife and a kid now, and maybe he's
yeah, because
moved away from that.
I think a lot of you always say that, like, he has a wife and a kid now, and these people, they still work, right?
I mean, if you build an enterprise around yourself, you don't have to as much. You know, if you.
I mean, you don't. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay. I mean, unless he says that, he said that, then okay. If he don't, I never assume that, because I see people personalities on television all the time that have wife and kids.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, lots of people have families.
Yes,
and
I mean, that's how that works.
So, yes. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Sometimes if you have the options and you have a young child, it's nicer to just be at home with them.
Maybe.
I'm
just saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yes, that is true. But I'm just saying, I see a lot of rich people who probably can just be, people who are like, they can just stop doing, but they don't.
Sure.
They like what they do.
I guess that's the benefit of me never liking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you going through your what you do? Because I was like, what he does seems pretty fun. What those guys do seem pretty fun. And like something they like to do. I don't know if it's just about money.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's just about money. I mean, I can't imagine, but then again, it seems like it's too much work to me if it's just about money for some of the things they do.
Yeah.
Like the ones who really build something, like him. Like, I feel like that's a lot of going through. I feel like if you do what you do, what he does, it seems like he would love to do it. That a family, I don't think it would stop him. I mean, it would have to be like a sickness or something. That's different.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got here Skull and Bones, the Ubisoft pirate game, has returned. It's got a launch day. It's coming out this year, November 8th. And it still...
I don't know what this game is. What is this game?
This is the pirate game that was basically like Black Flag, but without the good parts of Black Flag.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for the audience. But I meant, what is this game? Like, are we still just in a pirate boat? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it seems like... So they definitely showed some stuff that was like third person you walking around, but that seemed very much like a hub area. Because they still also showed off... They did basically like an hour and a half long stream. I watched a good portion of it. And it was very much ship combat stuff, ship customization. You can do the whole like ship-to-ship combat, like you sending people onto the boat. But it's not you going over there and doing third-person action fighting. It's you just sending them over there, having cutscenes,
so a cutscene
and stuff like that.
Like, see, here's the thing. Like, if this was, let's just say it's like a strategy game. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I guess what, Eve? That's what it's called. Eve.
Yeah, that's the space one, right?
Yeah. Like you're managing your ship.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that, even though that's not particularly Assassin's Creed, boat thing. That's a totally different game. Yeah. And I mean, it seems like I would rather for them to do that way than, like you say, a cutscene or something. No, like let me go. Like, hey, I'm sending my men over there, and I have some men like, hey, there's some fire on a boat or something like that. They shoot some fire arrows at us. Go put some water out over there. I would like that game. But I just want to know what it is, though. Is it that game? Or, like, what exactly are you doing? Or is it like a baby version of that? Like, you just say fight or don't fight or shoot cannon and that's it? Like, what exactly is the interface, or like what are you doing? Like what are you exactly?
So I think as far as like the boat stuff goes, like your primary attention is you being on the boat. You seemingly can directly control when cannons fire, where you're steering, stuff like that. But then anything like tangentially related to the boat, like let's say for instance, you're going to an island to loot a base, right? Mm-hmm. You pull up to that island, you press a button to basically say, hey, I'm going to send my guys onto that island and loot this base. Mm-hmm. Then you get a progression bar at the top of the screen that says like, oh, they're working towards getting to the first level of loot. Meanwhile, you're still on the boat. You're floating around basically like the bay at that point because you have to stay within the area, and you're fighting off like reinforcements coming in or towers that are shooting at you from the land and stuff like that. It's very much like you're going to be doing boat stuff, and that's about it. You know, you're going to be doing the boat aggressions, I should say, because like you said, it doesn't really seem like it's about what's the word I'm looking for here? Like managing the boat. You're not like putting out a fire over here or even sending guys over to here to attend to this like hole in the boat or anything like that. It's really just like, okay, I got to keep floating around shooting at these other guys until my guys on the island are done looting. And it's really just like a progression bar at the top. So it feels very like part of a game. Well, I say that, but I think part of the reason why it feels like such part of a game to me is because we already saw like the majority of this done with Assassin's Creed, but with the actual like third person action portion of it also. Like,
yeah, because I feel like if Assassin's Creed was just the boat stuff, that would have got old fast for me. Mm-hmm. I think breaking it up where I went on the island and did Assassin's Creed stuff helped with that. Even though I did like the boat stuff the most, but it would have to be deeper than what it was. Yeah. It had to be more than just what it was. Like, that's good for a game like Assassin's Creed, because you don't want to make anything too much, because then you kind of then go into something else and be like, man, what the hell is this? Like, I'd rather just play this game. But so having like, I feel like if they're going to just stick with the boat, they have to have a whole lot more than what Assassin's Creed got. Like to make it like I feel like a full-fledged game that it's okay for me to stay on a boat, because this is a lot of game here. It's a lot of game. Like, did they talk about whaling or anything? Now, Assassin's Creed, you could do that, but it wasn't like a great thing in Assassin's Creed. I mean, it was all right, but they could probably add it more to make it a lot harder not harder, but more challenging to a way that is fun to whale something.
More complex.
Yeah, exactly.
Or fleshed out. Yeah. If they did, it's not something that I noticed or stuck in my head. So. Or
they should do like whale wars that can stop the whalers or something like that.
Yeah. It seems like they're also doing like a large like multiplayer mechanic. I don't know. Because Whale Wars is just fun to reference. Yeah, like they also talked about multiplayer stuff. Like you're gonna be able to pirate along with your friends and stuff.
Oh, like,
but it's gonna be, it's not gonna be like Sea of Thieves. It's gonna be like he's got his boat over there, I've got my boat over here. You shoot at those cannons over there, I'll shoot at these cannons over here. It's very much like you are the boat.
Well, that's actually what I want to Sea of Thieves to be, because you can't play Sea of Thieves by yourself, really, unless it's like unless they give you a rowboat, because you only can control that. Yeah, I guess that's cool. I just need to know more of the game. I just need to know more of it, because I want to know if it's fun playing.
Yeah, I might say it's worth checking out that stream just to see. There's a lot of filler like interview stuff. there's maybe like 20, 25, 30 minutes of gameplay stuff where it's actually them playing the game. So it's not a lot to take in. They're also doing another stream September 9th, I believe, for this game. So hopefully by the time it launches, we'll know exactly what that game is and if it's something any of us actually want to play.
Like I said, they add those strategy elements of like you getting your men saying, "Hey, y'all go board over here. You men stay back," or something, and cover the cannons or whatever. I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay with that.
Gotcha.
But if it's just like a little like Assassin's Creed, I mean that's fun, but I'm not gonna be playing it that long. I mean, if it's or I mean, unless the story mode is short, then I'll play it up to that, and then that's it.
Yeah, I hear you. All right,
I mean, what do you want? What do you want?
I honestly want something that's more in the fashion of an Assassin's Creed, a third-person action adventure game.
Yeah, because you want to control the person. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I want to control the person.
Yeah, because I'm just saying. I'm just assuming it's not that. So that's what I'm saying. What I'll want if it isn't that.
Yeah, if it's not that, I would need it to be more. I don't know. Honestly, if it's not that, it's just not the game for me, I guess.
Yeah, or they could make it like your Advance Wars or something.
Yeah. No. I don't think that's the direction I would want that to go in. Like, I have no issue with the, like, I am the boat kind of situation. But if that's the case, then it's just going to be a limited scope. Like, if I can't board another person's ship, then that's fine. But, like, I don't know, don't let me send my people over there, I guess. Or, like, go further and say, like you said, like, I guess more managing the ship and saying, like, almost not turn-based, but...
Oh, no, not turn-based. Like, I don't think Eve was turn-based.
I don't mean to say turn-based. Like RTS. Strategy almost, where it's like, okay, my crew is 50 guys. I can send 20 of them over there and absolutely destroy this ship, but that's going to leave me, like, more vulnerable on my boat. Or I could send 5 guys over there. They might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You know, if you're just not giving me that direct control over it.
Or do what...
So I guess that's what I'd be looking for.
I think one of the Dynasty Warriors tactics does, like, you can send men and stuff, but you can also go down on the ground, you know, and fight. So give me the choice to control one of my men or something. Yeah. And I can still do third-person shit, like fighting, but being a strategist at the same time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like that. So I can still have both of those. That's what I really would prefer is that way. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's the only way I can like it. If it's just more tactical way. If they're not going to do the third person stuff, it has to be more of a tactics thing, like a real RTS for me to be into it.
Yeah, maybe this game comes out, Dominic, and sells gangbusters like they didn't expect. And they go on to make a sequel that's, you know, more fleshed out and goes in one of these directions, you know. We'll see. I mean, it's a game that we didn't necessarily expect to be coming out this year that's now coming out this year in the holiday season.
But they need
kind of cool.
What's the pirate show I watched called?
Oh, what was that thing called? Flags of Our Fathers.
Yeah, not flag.
This flag means death.
Yeah, this flag means death. Did he some this flags means death DLC, like the Gentleman Pirate DLC?
Ubisoft, I could see them maybe doing that. They're going to support this game for 7 years, despite the fact that like one person's playing it. All right, Dominic, we got some release date news now. Forspoken has been delayed from October into next year. It's coming out January 24th now.
That was the adventure game on PlayStation?
Correct. Yeah, he plays the young woman, and there's like maybe some
Was it exclusive to
time travel
PlayStation?
or magic elements. I believe it is. Yeah, I don't remember who is making. Is it being published by Square?
Was it on PC also, or just the console?
I think it is like the Epic Game Store exclusive.
Oh, okay.
At least.
And this is with the girl from but it's not the girl from True Blood, is it? Not her, right?
I'm trying to think who it is, because I don't think the character looks like the voice actress, or if it does, then I'm not sure.
I know the girl from True Blood was playing some game. No, it's not the girl from True Blood. It's not the girl from True Blood.
It is Ella. I gotta put my glasses back on. Good lord.
I felt like I've seen her before, though. Ella Balinska?
Yeah, Balinska. Apparently, she was in the latest Charlie's Angels movie.
Okay, so that's where I've seen her.
And she does look like the character.
Yeah, she does look like her, yes.
Just didn't recognize her. Apparently, she is also in the Resident Evil Netflix thing that's happening.
When is that happening?
I don't know anymore.
It's July 14th. It's coming up.
Oh, okay. I thought like there was one, but then there's also been like so many different ones. I wasn't sure which one.
It was the one I saw, which was a computer animated one. Then it was a movie, a real one, that came out on, I forget, one of these streaming services. I don't know if it was Netflix though. Resident Evil movie. Give me a year. 2021. Welcome to Raccoon City. That came on Hulu.
Okay.
That's what my sister saw it, because she was like, that movie sucked. I mean, not sucked. I don't know if she said it sucked. Maybe she said it wasn't that great, but she said the one I saw sucked. And I said, yeah, it did suck. Okay. But it was okay. I mean, I said, yeah, I still finished it though. But this one, yeah, because I totally forgot about this one. Actually, I don't know. It's on, because it's on Hulu now, but it's also on Amazon. And everywhere else you got to pay for. I mean, like, it's like $19.99 on YouTube. $19.99. Who the fuck is going to pay $20?
Resident Evil fans down each other. Yeah.
What does it get rated? Let's see the reviews. Oh, 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, wow. That is questionable.
It's only 30% rotten. That's what it means, Daniel.
Oh, okay.
So it's 70% good. That's
good. Man.
I remember I used to didn't understand Rotten Tomatoes. I used to think, like, what does it mean? Does it mean, like, what is rotten? How you know it's rotten? Because I just need to look at that number. Or, like, I didn't know, like, if 50% was good. I was like, it's 50%? Okay.
Yeah, because when do they classify it as rotten? Is it like 65 or something?
I think it used to be, because some people, the conspirators are saying that it used to be at like something like that, but then they raised it so that 60 is just a tomato.
Gotcha. Lowering the bar, huh?
Yeah, they think they are. I mean, but I think they are too, because there's money involved. So I would not be surprised, because now that Rotten Tomatoes have been taken seriously, when you see fucking commercials say it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like, they ain't never say that back in the day when I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes. That's why I never thought like, Rotten Tomatoes must not be that great. I mean, that's serious. But now they're taking that shit seriously. It's like, okay, Rotten Tomatoes. It's like when they didn't take Twitter seriously. Twitter was a real place. Now it is.
And now Twitter is the source of all news.
Yes, of all news.
Actual news stations report on things that happen on Twitter.
Exactly. And people, like, I still find it funny that, okay, it's one thing you say, like, oh yeah, I don't get on Twitter or something like that. So, okay. But they still get on Facebook. So it's not like they don't get on social media. It's one thing you see go on social media. So, okay, yeah, I commend you for that. You still get on Facebook. I say, man, whatever, man. Get the fuck out of here. I said, you're not even looking at real news anymore. You know, it's from Facebook. I said, at least some of those news is real on Twitter. I don't believe none of that shit on Facebook. Because y'all the ones that always keep telling me there's a movie coming out, and then I go look it up, and it's not. It's something fake.
All right, Dominic. So Forspoken, that's coming out next year, but that's clearing the way for another game that got a release date this week. Unfortunately for Skull and Bones, it's one day after it, actually. November 9th, we have God of War Ragnarock launching on the PlayStation consoles, Dominic. It's happening. It's not delayed. Well, it's not delayed again yet, but seemingly it's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so Sony got a big hitter coming out. Major one. What does Xbox have coming out?
The continued relaunch of Halo Infinite.
But I felt like there was something else though.
Let's
see. Not
see.
That's huge, but it's still
Scorn. That Dicks in the Wall game.
That is coming out this year. Okay. Yeah, okay. I knew it was something.
That's coming out. Exclusive 2022 holiday. What are left for this year?
See, I'm just waiting for Sony to just
Fan-sided.
let me be able to stream their games through the PC, like all their games, and that's what I'm waiting for. Oh, unless I win the lottery, then I'll go ahead and buy the console or something.
Yeah, Scorn's coming out in October. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide is coming out in September. And that's all this fan-sided website is basically saying. Because, Redfall was supposed to come out this year, but that got pushed back. Starfield was it Starfield that was supposed to come out?
I think it was
this year.
Well,
or both of them
just said, but both of them did say delay. I just know that.
Right.
The delay to next year.
Yeah, so they don't really have anything huge.
No, nothing huge
that we're aware of.
But they got the Game Pass, so they can just say,
yeah, and that's the thing.
Go.
Yeah, you might not have huge games, but you got a large number of very
not enough for the
good,
internet,
most
Daniel.
Indie games.
They need triple A. Screw these indies and their feelings, and their games with feelings. Things that's supposed to make you think and have a heart. You got time for this shit?
Nope. Got to kill some stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
With a big gun or a big sword.
And abuse my son while doing it, like in God of War. Say, you ain't doing it right.
I don't know. He's a grown man now, Dom. He's here to partner with you. They did release a new trailer along with this. It's only like 30 seconds. It's very short, but it's just Kratos cutting some people up and then his son coming in like, I'm here to help. I got a deep voice now.
He got a deep voice now?
Man. He's got a deeper voice.
I was about to say, he still
he's
looks
seemingly
small.
gone through puberty now. He's in his tween years.
Okay.
Yeah, his teen years.
Yes,
he's well into
he
his
has
teens.
random erections every now and then. That's
maybe that's going to be a gameplay element, Dominic. You're going to have a button that says "Put that away." Oh, I should have knocked. I'm sorry. All right, Dominic. Yeah, so that is our news this week, Dominic. You see anything else for the people?
I haven't really been looking at stuff. Let me see here. Let me look on 4chan and see what they got here.
4chan. Are they going to tell you about how Hideo Kojima assassinated the former Japanese Prime Minister?
I see you showed me that. I looked that up, and yeah.
God, that is insane.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. A man died.
Yes, he did. Unfortunately. The thing that you're laughing at is how ridiculous people are that they'll take a picture of a video game developer and just go like, yeah, this is the guy that shot him.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm laughing at.
It's not about the guy.
Yeah. That's not stuff.
Sure, Dom.
It says 343 reveals Halo's Infinite Co-op beta launch date and details how cooperative play works. I didn't look at that.
Yeah, because that beta Starts this week, I think.
The way we're handling this is through something we eternally refer to as no Spartan left behind. When players join the fire team,
That works so well for schools.
And choose their save slots to play on, the game aggregates the states of all missions across those saves and sets up a world state in which any missions completed by all fire team members are marked as complete, while any missions not completed by all are marked as incomplete. You can think of this system as creating a version of the world that's like the lowest common denominator of everyone's campaign progress. This way, no matter what you do, no one is completing missions out of order.
I don't know if I like the sound of that. Does that mean if you're like on level 1 and I'm on level 7, we have to start at level 1 or 2?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want to jump in and jump out. I don't give a fuck. Because I feel like I just feel like by now, I mean, people who cared about the game and the story, they played it already. If they really care about it, they already played it already. They played through the game, so now I just want to have some fun and just jump in and jump out.
Yeah.
Like my friend, he doesn't care about the damn story. He didn't even play the game yet. But when it gets co-op, he probably wouldn't mind trying it and just yeah, whatever. All right. Let me see. Anything else? Can it at least let you? I mean, it probably said it in there. I hope it lets you like have your Spartan. Not all of us just be green. Can we just like have our own?
Like let you use your multiplayer skins?
Exactly.
They should. I mean, especially if they're still selling like cosmetic stuff. You want to motivate people to buy more of that.
Oh, it says take a early look at Skate's fluid movements and awesome bails.
Ooh. I did watch that. It's a very early video. Like the graphics aren't even necessarily what they're going to be.
They look like a bunch of mannequins.
Yeah. It's very flat shaded. I don't know. I'm still more of a Tony Hawk guy.
Whatever, Tony Hawk sucks.
I think the bells and Skate look cool.
Get over it, Daniel. It's over. Just get the Skate.
It is over. The kids want the Skate now.
Yep. Oh yeah,
like
speaking of
Tony
Skate,
Hawk,
I was watching some more of that Skate anime. That's only a few episodes too. But I ain't finished it yet. I think I still have a few more. It's pretty cool. I mean, these little short animes, they do all right job with these things. Like I could just watch them quickly and just go away. It's not a whole bunch of stupid shit just happening.
Yeah.
I just like how they just make it the skating, just put all this anime stuff to it. Like the guy just say, how does he use his foot to just bounce off the wall on the skateboard? And say he's been training and blah blah blah, and making up all this other shit. That is physically impossible to do. All right, so yeah, I'm done.
All right, we got new releases, Dominic. This one I missed last week. DNF Duel.
Yeah, and did I try it out? No, I didn't try it out. I was looking at it. I was looking at a video of it.
Yeah, this is a new Arc Systems fighting game for the PC and PS4 and PS5 using characters from Dungeons and Fighters, which apparently is a RPG
and
video
DNF
game.
Stands for what? Do not fail? I just made that up.
Dungeon Fighters. Dungeons and Fighters.
I feel like it's Fighters maybe. For the F.
Because, I mean, it's based on the Dungeon and Fighters world, so I just assumed
they don't say
that it was like...
they say N Fighters.
I guess. Or for this they did,
because
they didn't want to call it...
DF?
DAF.
Oh, DAF.
DAF.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would offend the British people. You daft bugger or whatever you say. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but that's because all Arc Systems fighting games look cool to me. So, like...
What's this game?
It amazes me how many of these fucking games they put out, I guess is what I should say.
I think it's a Guilty Gear, the latest one. Is that X or Strive? And that looks really good, but I played it. I do not like playing it, but it looks good.
No?
Because the animation is not, it doesn't feel like 60 frames. Like the animation itself is in a different frame than like Dragon Ball Z. That's 60 frames, like when you put, it's like input. This, it looks like the cartoon, and it's a different way. Like, I mean, if you know Guilty, I don't know. I didn't play really Guilty Gear a lot. I think I played earlier ones, and I didn't really know the animation and stuff like that. So I know it wasn't like this. But this, I know it wasn't like, it didn't look like this, but I was just pressing buttons. But with this, I think you'll probably get used to it if you're into this game, but I just haven't gotten there. I'm like, man, I don't like what this looks like when I'm hitting. Like, I just kind of want people to move fast or something like that. God. Maybe I could put the speed up. I don't know. But that's just how the game is, and that's what makes it different, I guess. And if you're a Guilty Gear guy, maybe, this is what you want. But for me, nah, I just want everything to move fast, and I press a button, you just hit.
Absolutely. All right, we also have Match Point, which is a tennis video game that's out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. As you mentioned, Wimbledon's going on, so that makes perfect sense as to why you would release your tennis game then. We
also make you take COVID tests in that game?
Yes, okay. They do. Yep. You actually have to take a COVID test to buy the game.
Oh.
Yeah, they implemented that on the digital stores now. So,
but they don't require you to take a vaccine, though, so that's good.
Well, Microsoft does, Dominic, because they're affiliated with Bill Gates, and Bill Gates is trying to get his money from the vaccine that he's invented to cure the disease that he's also invented.
Huh?
God, I say these things, and then I wonder if, there's someone, taking that seriously.
That's what people the conspiracy theorists say, man.
Someone who's actually listening to this and then taking me seriously. Oh. And then I regret everything I've ever said. Yeah. No, I know there are people out there that
you should believe it. That's what they say. You should believe it. This is all just a setup. COVID's not even real.
We live in a simulation. The world is a construct. I understand. All right, Dominic, Arcadegeddon, that's out on the PS5 now and PS4. You can get that as part of PlayStation Plus. That game just looks like Fortnite to me, basically. Third-person, shooty multiplayer. It's going
to be bigger than Fortnite by next time we talk about this. It would be on the podcast. It's going to be the biggest thing ever.
I don't know. You mean Arcadium presents Super Ultra Podcast Arcade? They're going to get so big they're going to buy us.
I didn't even see it during Twitch. Let me see. It's up here.
That's because it ain't on there, Dominic. All right, we also have Gwent Rogue Mage. That is, of course, as we mentioned earlier, now out on PC, iOS, and Android on your mobile. And we also have Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series. Woo. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series.
Is it on Switch?
Yeah, yes, it is. And I am going to get that. It's out on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
On what, though?
Switch, most likely.
Okay.
The game shouldn't have any trouble running on there, so I will get it on there.
And I'll get it on PC.
Okay. And I'll see how it is. I'll probably talk about it in the next podcast, I'm sure. But yeah, so I think I've only seen one review for it, but it was pretty positive, so glad to hear that. And that's it for me. Dominic, you got anything else for the people this week?
Nah, man. I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys as always. You can check us. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find the podcast, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. And, of course, audio versions on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place that you might be interested in getting your podcast fed up to you. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.